At Pizza Man Pub, 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. This is your live draft cast, and we are here with the Bville Bills backers president, Jeff Cook, as well as Central New York native and national champion who played with Tony Dorsett, and I'm familiar with the fact that you had a better game than he did in that game. You're on. Go ahead. Al Romano. How are you, Al?
No, Dorsett played with me.
Yeah, okay.
That didn't sound right.
And myself.
Oh, Jesus, I retract that statement.
And we are, of course, here, myself, Dan Tortora. A special wake-up call with Dan Tortora here on site on location. We're here at Pizza Man every single month, and, of course, every Monday through Friday during our normally scheduled time of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern on mixlr.com, facebook.com, and youtube.com, all / WakeUpCall DT. We are here to give you our draft thoughts and then bring you through a portion of the draft here, because we all know that the draft round one will be past midnight by far, and they're lining up right now that I think the first pick by Jacksonville will probably happen at 8:30, 8:45. We should over-under that and see when we think the number one pick's going to be.
No,
it takes forever.
There's only one, and it's over.
So hopefully it'll come in here soon. So we all have our sheets. Now the thing I like about this is I got myself prepared, and these gentlemen did too. Al has his notes as he always does. We have spreadsheets here from Jeff, and we have my mock draft that was released to you this week in our Fantasy Football Power Hour. So who do we think's going number one, Jeff? I'll start with you.
I think Trayvon Walker is going to go one. I wouldn't personally take him, but I think he goes one.
You think he's going to go number one overall? Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, the edge rusher. What do you think, Al?
Hold on. Didn't you tell me a little while ago Hutchinson?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't take Trayvon Walker. I would take Hutchinson.
Okay.
I think Jacksonville's going to go Walker.
What do you think, Al?
Well, I had him a backup of Hutchinson, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking Hutchinson. Actually, him or the big offensive lineman there, Neal.
Yeah, from Alabama.
It's a far fetch, but
Right. Hey, that's
Yeah.
what we're here for, though.
But I
Far-fetched.
mean, this is an amazing year for linemen, but mostly offensive linemen.
Oh yeah, I mean 3 through
It's not like they're going to have another draft.
3 through 15, you'll probably see 6 to 7 linemen taken, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list right now. I mean, Evan Neal, Ekwonu, Charlie Cross, a bunch of the guys can come off the list here. Jordan, and then as we get down deeper into things, Kenyon Green, as well as Zion Johnson from BC, Trevor Penning. There's a lot of guys that can come out here in the first round on the offensive line. With my Jaguars, as you can see, I am very much a Jaguar fan, and I like having the number one pick, but it tells me two things. One, it's really cool to be a fan. Two, it means you really stink that bad. And to have the number one pick 2 years in a row shows you just how bad your team actually was, because they got Trevor Lawrence, but they didn't have much help after that, and, of course, injuries to the offensive line. I had two choices here at number one that I think Jacksonville will go with. And I ultimately believe, and you and I spoke about it, well, the three of us spoke about it before the show. I originally went Evan Neal. That was my original thought a few weeks ago. I thought, shore up the offensive line. You got Cam Robinson, you have Juwan Taylor, you just brought in Brandon Sheriffs, and you have Tyler Shatley, who's been a backup center for the team and a backup guard. Linda retires. You bring in Shatley there, you give him a 2-year extension. So they need one more guy, a right guard. And
why not?
Right, and so Evan Neal would have made sense to put him in, and then you'd have to shift one of the other guys around, like maybe a Juwan Taylor. But I changed my mind over these last few weeks, knowing that they have 4 out of 5 offensive linemen and really no take-home defensive lineman who is any type of scare to anybody. Dwan Smoot, 4th-round pick out of Illinois. I like him. I've interviewed him. I've had him on the show. We spent time together over these last few years, and I appreciate Dwan Smoot, but ultimately for me, I think they need to go Aiden Hutchinson. Of his numbers, Kayvon Thibodeau's numbers, and Trayvon Walker, he makes the most sense to me. So I'm hoping that they don't, like the Trevor Lawrence pick, don't overthink it. Do what is right in front of your face, and let's move on. I was terrified last year that they were going to go Justin Fields or go out of left field somewhere else and stay away from Trevor Lawrence because it was the easy pick. And I think Aiden Hutchinson is the smart move right now, and I hope they make that move.
And whether they go Hutchinson or Walker, I think when you talk about they have 4 of their 5 linemen solidified. I wouldn't be surprised if they go. What do they have? 33.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they move up in the first round, say 25, and try to get someone like Tyler Smith from Tulsa. That offensive lineman. That right there. The draft is so deep. You can get a great lineman in the second round. You can get a 10-year starter because it's so. I've never seen an offensive line or defensive line, both fronts, so deep.
But I mean, wasn't Lawrence one of the most sacked quarterbacks this year? Statistically,
Yeah.
He was always running for his life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you give this guy
Oh,
a little more protection? And the defensive lineman ain't going to help him.
right. Well, and they picked up what's his name?
No, defensive lineman, all it does is get him off the field.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things. I don't think you can go wrong either way.
No.
I mean, you have to address both needs, and you say who's the best player at end.
I think it's going to be a surprise.
I don't want it to be a surprise.
I hate that.
I think this draft you will see more surprises and more teams trying to move down.
Well,
If it's not that quarterback.
I'll tell you this. Of these last couple months, I've seen, when it comes to mock drafts, I've seen Jacksonville be connected with Ekwonu, the offensive lineman out of NC State. I've seen Evan Neal, for offensive lineman from Alabama. I've seen Kayvon Thibodeau, the edge rusher from from Oregon. I've seen Aiden Hutchinson, the edge out of Michigan. I've seen Trayvon Walker, the edge out of Georgia. I've seen 5 guys. And this morning, I saw Ekwonu, number 1 overall. And a few months ago, like I said, I was thinking Evan Neal. Then all of a sudden, it was Aiden Hutchinson, a little bit of Thibodeau for a half a millisecond. And then it's been Trayvon Walker for about a week and a half. So just with the number 1 pick alone, there's 5 different schools of thought right now. However, everybody thinks they're going to take a lineman, whether it's offense or defense.
What about that? What the hell's his name? I'm looking at Penning.
Trevor Penning.
Trevor Penning, yeah.
Penning.
He's out of Northern Iowa.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
I mean, what about him?
That's another guy I can see if they go 1. I can see them. If they go 1 with Hutchinson or Walker, I can see them, like I said, with Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, moving up to 25, maybe 20, because he won't get past 20, I don't think, Penning, but like that's the type of player you use your...
That's the kind of surprise I'm talking about.
Correct, yes,
Yeah,
no,
Trevor Penning,
yes,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
What we can agree on is I don't think there will be more than 1 running back drafted in the first round. And I think that running back will go to Buffalo.
Correct.
And I think his name will be Breece.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think I mean he's going to be there, and I think Bean knows that that's his one and only. I wouldn't even call it weakness, because I think Singletary is very serviceable, but I think that's his. You get Breece Hall out of the backfield in that passing game with Josh Allen, it's like, what do you do to stop him?
Breece Hall's numbers, 1,400 plus yards in each of the last 2 seasons. He had, I believe, 20 touchdowns rushing this past season, and he had, I think, between 36 and 39 receptions, and he had 20-plus receptions the season before. So when you look at his numbers connected to some of the other guys that are out there, that some people might think, I mean, you got your guy out of Michigan State with Kenneth Walker III. His numbers are not as good as Breece Hall. Breece Hall really has the numbers to, in my opinion, I said it on the show this week, I think he's Devin Singletary and Zach Moss together plus more. I feel like he's better than the both of them together.
I do too, and I think Breece Hall in that offense is, I would say he could catch 70 balls, he could catch 4 balls a game. That's really, I mean, it's 17 games. He gets 4 balls a game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that's crazy to think. That Josh Allen has never, he had McCoy when he was young, but he hasn't had that guy. He can be like, who am I dumping it off to now?
Well, there's been nobody, and I think, in the way the running backs go in the league lately, you can wait until the Bills pick. I don't think they're going to have any issue at number 25 getting Breece Hall, but let's go back up. So at number 1, we can all agree. I said Evan Neal originally. I'm thinking Aiden Hutchinson, but I wrote in my if they don't go Hutchinson, I have my or here, and my or is Evan Neal for the offensive line. So I think we agree on that. And yeah, my mic's being fun. We agree on that. And
My
you think,
or is either Hutchinson, Walker, and my other possibility is Hutchinson.
so you think Hutchinson or Walker?
Yeah.
We think they could go Neal or Hutchinson. Number 2, the Lions. Do they trade down? They have the 32nd pick, courtesy of their trade when they let go of Matt Stafford. They got more draft capital from the Rams. Do the Lions stay at 2? And if they do, who do they pick? Al, what do you think?
Well, I had Walker as their first.
Trayvon, okay.
Well, I think he would help them the most, but they need so much help.
That's the thing.
It's hard to say.
I think if Walker goes 1, I think you sprint that card for Hutchinson and at 2.
Hutchinson goes 1. Walker's available. I think
And
it's
I'm
the
saying if
natural pick.
Walker goes 1, Hutchinson went to Michigan. I think he's the best player in the draft. The Lions need to run that card in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think ultimately, if Hutchinson isn't drafted number 1 overall, then you keep him in the great state of Michigan, and that would be a home run. It would essentially, this is how I know why the Jaguars should draft Aiden Hutchinson. Because if they don't, the Lions are going to feel like they got the number 1 pick of the draft. That's how I know.
Correct.
They need to just draft Aiden Hutchinson, call it a day.
Yeah,
And like you just
that
mentioned,
only means that you're that strong on Hutchinson.
right? And what you just mentioned though
I
about the
believe
Jaguars, don't overanalyze it. If Hutchinson's available,
Take him.
take the card,
Yeah.
put it in, and you got your edge rusher for the next 7 to 8 years minimum.
Yeah, I think you make it happen. I mean, I have Thibodeau go into the Lions 2nd overall. I have Trayvon Walker falling a little bit because Thibodeau's numbers are better. And I just, from a general manager standpoint, you and I were talking about, we watched the interview with Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't like, I've been in the Jacksonville locker room. I can talk about Jalen Ramsey. I can talk about Yannick Ngakoue and the fact that Ngakoue wouldn't do an interview with me until his teammate put his watch on him with the diamonds, and he had to tell me it was a $10,000 watch, and then he could do the 1-minute interview because he was too busy. So Yannick Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey, Telvin Smith, Marcel Darius, I was in that locker room. I don't want to be in the locker room with Kayvon Thibodeau because I've already seen an ego, and they don't need that. Shad Khan can't afford to swing and miss, so you stay away from Thibodeau. I think he goes 2 overall, which leads us to number 3, the Texans. What do you think about the Texans? I think it's very funny that I agree with NFL.com when they put team needs. I thought you could only put a few different positions like we normally do. I, on my show, will put every position. NFL.com said Houston Texans, every position is a need. So, Al, where do they go? Where does Houston go?
I had Stingley.
You know Stingley? All right.
I think
Who did
that's
you
awesome.
have?
I had Icky and Conway from NC State, but I also think Stingley would be a good pick. But you're at that, like you said, you need everything.
Yeah.
You want Davis Mills to be something. I don't care if he misses some games. I think Jameson Williams is the best player in the draft. I think he's the biggest playmaker in the draft. I take Jameson Williams, put him at receiver. I don't care if he misses 8 weeks. You have him pair him with Mills, I think. But that's the, like you said about Neal going 1, that's the wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But I think they go, Stingley would not surprise me because what do I have? I think I had at one point them taking Stingley at 13, but I don't think he gets there anymore.
I thought about that, and I don't think there's no way Stingley's going to go any sooner.
No.
And I think it would be because I think the other guy they had for was Equano.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't think he's going to make it to that.
I think Aquano, I have I'm interested to see what they do 3 here because it will tell you a lot of what they think about Davis Mills.
Right.
Yeah, and I think ultimately they have to protect him. Protect him with either Aquanu or Evan Neal, who I have going number 3 overall from Alabama. I have him going above Aquanu, but I have Aquanu going just 2 picks later. Pick number 4, I got to know this guy over this past season. I've covered him. Finally got to talk to him. He calls himself Sauce, and he has a deal with A1, Ahmad Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati. I have him going number 4. to the Jets.
That's what I got.
You got him to the
That
Jets?
is also who I have.
Well, look at that.
And that is if they don't make that blockbuster for Debo, which I don't see happen. It would have already happened.
Yeah.
So you got to, that's another, you get that card in, take sauce, and go.
Actually, I thought that if, who the hell, if it was still there, obviously, what I had was, if Neal was still there, they would have they would have gotten him. But realistically, Gardner's a better choice.
So we got sauce, and more sauce here. I love that. You know, that's been the consensus number 4 to the Jets. The 3 of us, and I've seen with a lot of other people, that has been including Mike Sofka. Shout out to Mike, Hall of Fame, FantasyFootball.com, in our mock draft. A lot of people are thinking Ahmad Sauce Gardner, number 4 to the Jets. So I love Sauce. He thinks he's the best corner in the draft, and we all agree that he is. So
you got to have that moxie when you're playing corner too.
What are the odds?
I know.
All 3 of us. Let's
what
see.
about 5?
So for the Giants have number 5 and number 7. I have chosen the Giants to go with offensive tackle Ekwonu out of NC State. I think if they don't go there, then they would go to Evan Neal, depending on who's available. Al?
This is where I had Cross, because I didn't think Neal would be there.
Yeah.
So I also have Cross with Neal being there, and Al and I talked for when I think 5 and 6 Giants Carolina. Neal and Cross are a toss-up, and one of them's going to New York and one of them's going to Carolina. I don't know which one. I think Cross goes to New York, but I think those two go. You could flop them either way because I think they're both going to be home runs.
Well, that's the thing is I have with Carolina number 6, I have Cross. So, I mean, I'm right there. I think Cross is going in the top 6. I think Ekwonu, Neal, and Cross are going in the top 6 to somebody.
Right. No, 100%, yeah.
They're going to someone. So I have Carolina going. Is there a chance that Carolina could go Malik Willis?
So I have that as another possibility.
Well, go to the next one. I'll let you know where I got.
Okay. Well, so the Giants at number 7, I have Trayvon Walker dipping here. I feel like the hype on him, I haven't bought into it, so I have him falling to number 7 to the Giants. The Giants on my mock draft taking care of offensive and defensive line at 5 and 7 respectively. Al, you think the Giants are going Malik?
The Giants?
And number 7.
Oh, numbers down. Yep. Who do I have? Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis. So you think they're done with Daniel Jones? Or almost done?
Isn't everybody?
They declined his 5th-year
Yeah,
option.
they declined the option, so they've put him on alert that this is going to be over soon.
I think.
Well, he hit it on the head. I like what he said about it. He said that, as bad a rap as Daniel Jones has been getting, the guy never complains.
Right.
He just goes back, tries to make it better. Never hear him talking shit.
No, that guy's going to have a long career in the NFL, whether it's a high-tier backup. Who knows if he starts, but he's done everything the right way, and you can't. He also got a raw deal.
He'll be in the league 15 years.
I think everyone talks about Darnold. He got a raw deal, too. He had Pat Shurmur, and then McAdoo, and then he had Joe Judge, who's a high school. So he really never had that quarterback guy, and I'm very interested to see as a Bills guy. Dayball will get the best out of him. We're going to see what the best is.
Yeah, and and that's what it's really going to come down to is Daniel Jones is going to have to prove himself, but they don't take the option. You play Daniel Jones for one more season, and then you look at next year's draft, which is supposed to be bigger when it comes to quarterbacks. It's supposed to be a meatier draft for a quarterback. So the Giants could be looking at this saying, hey, let's get O-line, let's get D-line, let's see what Daniel does. If he doesn't come through for us, then we move on. Because you got to make Saquon Barkley happy. And they have not been able to block for him. I've only asked for 5 years that the Giants get an offensive lineman. So I think it's time for them to make a move.
He's going into a contract here, too, so he wants to have a huge
that's
year.
The thing is I firmly believe if you do not protect Saquon Barkley, that at the end of his rookie contract, he will say goodbye. I honestly believe he is done after this year if they do not create holes for him and they do not find a way with the offensive line to provide some protection and some opportunities. He's doing it all by himself, and I think if they do him dirty again, he's out.
And I also think that would be probably the biggest shame of 5 years wasted where it wasn't the player's fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that dude is so talented.
Well, Lawrence has only got the 1 year, but
Right.
he may be on their 5-year plan.
Yeah. Hopefully not for Dan's sake, but yeah.
I'm
No, I agree. I mean,
I'm hoping.
I mean, seriously, if they got just one really good left tackle,
yeah. Yeah.
you just so have to
And this is the draft. I mean, like you said, we're talking like Giants, Jags. If you want your lineman, here's your draft.
Yeah.
You're the Giants, and you say, "Oh, we don't love a quarterback." Just stock up on linemen because you got 5 of them. You're bound to hit on 2.
Yeah.
And if you have 2, there's 40% of your line.
Well, my thing is they need one more guy. This is my issue, and I said this for the last couple seasons. They never had an offensive line in Jacksonville that stayed 100% healthy together. You had Cam Robinson at left tackle, Andrew Norwell at 5 years, spent a ton of money on him, didn't keep them all 5, left guard out of Carolina. Brandon Linder at your center. You had A.J. Cann at your right guard, Juwan Taylor at your right tackle out of Florida. So you had every single one of those guys got injured at some point. A.J. Cann was the healthiest. And I said if they don't keep it together this year, you're going to see almost all of that gone. Juwan Taylor's back. Cam Robinson's back. No more Norwell. Linder retired. And then there's a question mark. So you bring in Brandon Sheriff, which ironically Norwell goes to Washington, and then Sheriff comes to Jacksonville. And Tyler Shalley, who's had to fill in for a bunch of injured guys on the line, has finally paid his due. So I said this line was going to not be together because it hasn't been together. And now they have an all-new line as far as makeup of starters. They get one more guy. This line is stocked. It's good. If you bring a big-bodied Evan Neal, you got a big, thick line. That's why I'm okay if they take Evan Neal. I'm okay with that. And we're about to find out what they're going to do. You're about to see me get really pissed off or really happy. So
he's about to say the Jacksonville Jaguars are officially on the clock.
Okay.
He's about to say the Jaguars pick will be in by 9.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your buddy with the white suit. Is that?
So as this happens, we'll see when the pick is in.
Yeah.
I think the draft, and I said it could get very interesting. I am so interested to see what Atlanta is going to do.
I think Atlanta's going to go.
If Willis is there, they don't have a quarterback.
I was telling him before we came up here, they need everything.
Yeah. I think they're going with a wide receiver, even though they don't have a quarterback.
But with Ridley out the year, they don't.
Yeah, you don't have Julio.
You kind of got to ride with Mariota because Willis isn't going to step in and play immediately. You have Mariota. Jameson Williams was my other possibility here because that would not surprise me.
That's the thing, though. I think if they go Jameson Williams, you're swinging and you may miss. I think they go Drake London out of
That's
USC.
that's all I have.
Drake London, yeah. I think they go Drake London out of USC. So
big boy.
that is the 8th pick for the Falcons, a wide receiver. Seahawks number 9. This is another one where there could be a quarterback taken. This is where I put Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU that Al had a little bit earlier. Who do you have?
I put Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU.
Because the Legion of Boom doesn't exist anymore. They need something
and
scary.
Jamal Adams, they need that corner to come in.
Yeah.
This is where I had that pending.
Yeah.
That's Trevor Penning, yeah.
Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Because he shouldn't really go too much further up than that.
And the only reason he could go that. The only reason he's there is because he went to Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think ultimately the great thing about the draft is that they'll find you, and I'll get to that later on here. Number 10, I think the Jets' second pick of the top 10, they go with wide receiver Garrett Wilson out of OHIO.
Dan, I also have Garrett Wilson.
You do it. I'm not looking at your sheet.
No,
this was made yesterday. What do you have?
Other possibility is trade the Niners in a Debo package. That's my other possibility.
But that's the thing, though, is they think the Jets, or if they think the Niners are that's what I keep hearing is the Jets are that team that they feel like they can outsmart, I guess. So I guess we'll have to see if they can actually outsmart the Jets. I think the Jets should keep 4. Keep 10. I could see the Jets going corner safety as well. I could see Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame going to the Jets here. And then they go from obscure secondary to one of the best secondaries arguably in the country if they did that.
Here we go. Is this it?
Is the pick in? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Is Ice Cube making the pick?
What are we doing?
Or is he just introducing?
I would love if Ice Cube made my pick. Well, he's performing this weekend, so.
There's Derek Carr.
He's also wearing a Raiders jersey, so I prefer him to not make the pick for us. That would be great.
Good.
All right. Derek Carr, yeah, so they're just doing their
So who do
welcome
we have?
to Vegas.
So we go to 11, Washington.
Yeah, the Commanders, I have back-to-back Ohio State receivers going. I have teammate of Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, going to the Commanders.
I have Jameson Williams going to 11, and I have Chris Olave as another possibility. I think they're going to go receiver because they're so unsure about McLaren.
Yeah.
And
They're also another team that doesn't have, like, a quarterback you really can say is going to be there the whole year.
Yeah, no, I know. And it also wouldn't surprise me if you see Kyle Hamilton go here to replace Landry.
Yeah.
Landon Collins, sorry,
Yeah.
Landon Collins.
Well, and I think the thing is it's funny how this year, because they're not high on the quarterback this year, and I really think there's like 4 to 6 guys that we can see drafted of note. I think because of that, a team like the Seahawks, the Commanders, as well as the Falcons or the Giants, those could all be quarterback picks, but they're not going to happen this year because they're going to wait until next year.
Yeah, Giants fans got a raw deal this year.
This is going to be, we talked about this. This is going to be the most bizarre, not having at least 4 quarterbacks
Right.
going.
And
Al, at this point, I think the Houston Texans might pick you. I think they might bring you back to Houston. What do you think?
No, I can't even carry the water.
so I think
I don't think
like
you
I
could do
said,
any worse, Al. I
The
really
last
don't.
time we had this type of quarterback draft was 13 when E.J. Manuel went to Buffalo. The only quarterback taken in the first round. Then Geno Smith went in the second round, a couple more. But since then, it's been quarterback. Now it's
Yeah, and let's tell it what it is. Syracuse fans know this. Geno Smith was a really good wide receiver for West Virginia. Anyways, let's move on. The Vikings, number 12, cornerback Trent McDuffie, I have going out of Washington here. That's who you got? All right, Romano, let's go. Because, they have Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, they have Adam Thielen. They got to go on the defensive side of the ball, and I don't know any corner that really scares you right now.
I have
Minnesota.
Kyle Hamilton and having him learn under
Another secondary guy.
Yeah.
can't think of his name.
Notre Dame guy, isn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think him. I don't think he'll be there. But if Stingley's there, they're splitting that card in.
Oh, yeah. I think, and I have Texans number 13. I have Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame, going to the Houston Texans. And he's going to have to play offense, defense, and special teams because they don't have anybody else there. So anybody who gets drafted by the Texans is going to have to play 2 ways like you do in high school. That's how it's going to have to be. Who do you guys have?
And that's only high schools out of New York State.
Who do you have for number 13?
I had Kyle Hamilton.
You have Kyle Hamilton.
So we're all close. I had
I like that.
George Karlaftis, edge rusher out of Purdue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got him. I got him dropping a little bit here.
And then I
but-
had other possibility. I had Drake London if he's there.
Okay, all right. I have at number 14, interior defensive lineman, because the Ravens have gone to the veterans. They took one of my favorite Jaguars, Calais Campbell, and I believe they're going to need some youth to replace this veteran status that will eventually be gone. So I have Jordan Davis, who I covered in the college football playoff, out of Georgia, going to the Baltimore Ravens. Sir?
I was sitting there thinking both ways. I went Chris Olave.
Chris Olave?
Actually,
Okay.
all you hear all year is Lamar doesn't have anybody. Lamar doesn't have anybody. You
See, I
have to
keep seeing
address
Aiden
that.
Hutchinson and the Jaguars. Like, why don't they just do that? Why is that not happening? There's 6 minutes. You realize that there was a clock, and now there's a clock after the clock.
Yeah.
And then there'll be another clock. I told you the first pick won't be in until 8:30. It'll be almost 8:30 when the
They've
first pick is
literally
in.
had since January to make this. pick.
8:14. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They've had since January to get this pick ready.
See, I just saw Trayvon Walker pop up, and my chest got nervous. Just
It's gonna
draft
be
Aiden.
Walker.
The
I'm
Ravens?
telling you, man.
Draft Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, the Ravens.
Lloyd,
Yeah, Lloyd.
linebacker.
Okay, linebacker, and I have him going just a little bit farther here. Devin Lloyd out of Utah. You have him going to the Ravens. Okay.
Okay.
15 for the Eagles. I have them throwing a curveball here. I have them going wide receiver. And I think they're either going to go Jameson Williams or they're going to keep a guy in Pennsylvania and they're going to do what they did when they drafted Jalen Reagor, and everybody's going to go, what? When they drafted Reagor and he was like the 4th guy on the list and they bypassed the other top 3, I think the Eagles might go with Jahan Dotson out of Penn State.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. Howie Roseman's stubborn, so he's going to try to hit on a receiver eventually.
Yeah.
I have them going Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis. Okay. Yeah. So a pick after mine.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson. Yeah, that was my other pick.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that would make sense for them to go out and
If
get
Jameson Williams is there, you got to take him.
Well, let me tell you about the team after the Eagles. Number 17, the Chargers. I think Jameson could fall to them. This is a ticket you run right to him. Justin Herbert and that explosive offense. The man had 5 fourth-down conversions in the final game of the season. I think it was 4 or 5. Had 4 fourth-down conversions on the same drive. Had a 4th and 10 touchdown. The man is elite. And you have other weapons that are already there. They got rid of a Williams receiver, and you know the Chargers have had a guy named Williams for a long time. So Jameson Williams, who runs like a 4.25 or something like that, you bring in Jameson Williams, and you make what I think is arguably the best division in football in the AFC West even more electrifying. My question is, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams, Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes and all of his weapons, and Russell Wilson with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. That would be an insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane with or without Jameson Williams.
I really can't believe what the Seahawks let him go. I never read much into it, but something had to go wrong.
It just seemed like the marriage was going wrong there with Pete Carroll and company.
Your pick is in.
My pick is in. All right, I'm awaiting. I just saw the computer glitch. I'm gonna try and call in and see if I can mask Shad Khan's voice. But I said let me be in that room because they drafted Tyson Alualu years ago, and I watched Mel Kiper go like this. He knows 1,000 names, and you heard him. They're like, "What do you think?" And they cut to B-roll, and he was like this. And he was going through the papers, and he was like, he's a defensive interior guy. He had almost nothing to say about the guy.
Went on and said, he's got huge hands, he bends well.
Unprepared.
Mel Kiper Jr., how dare you? Come on. So the pick is in right now, so we're going to hold on our draft thoughts here to see. I don't have to wait long for my Jaguars to draft, and I'm very excited about this, so let's see here. The pick is in. I love when they say the pick is in and then they don't give us the pick forever. They tell you the pick is in and then they hold. So the time goes off and then nobody goes up there. What do you think, Al? Are they going to go Romano? Or are they going to go Romano? Are they going to go Hutchinson?
I think so.
Please?
I think so.
Please? Give me some positive here. Trevor Lawrence, I was so nervous last year. I was like, I'm not going to believe it's Trevor Lawrence until it is. Here we go. Here we go, folks. This is live in the moment. We're draft casting as the draft is happening on Facebook.com and YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT.
Here's
all right.
The biggest clown in the National Football League.
Roger Goodell, you're not a fan? Trayvon Walker is the number 1 overall pick. Trayvon Walker. I don't know how I feel. I don't feel great. That means Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the easy number 1 pick or number 2 pick. Trayvon Walker. The Jaguars got high on him in the last 2 weeks, and they just couldn't let go. Whatever they saw something. Either he ran a drill well or he answered a question well. They liked something about Trayvon Walker. Listen, Trayvon, I'm going to say this. I thought we would go Aiden Hutchinson, but I'm going to say this into the camera. I will see you in a couple months, God willing. I look forward to talking with you. I appreciate you. I didn't have you going number 1 overall, but now you're a Jaguar. You're a part of the family. I covered Georgia in the college football playoffs, so I'm honored to see you won a national championship, and I'm looking forward to having you as a Jaguar. Trayvon Walker, I said what I said going into it, and now it's time for you to do your work and show me why Aiden Hutchinson was not the number 1 pick. What do you think, guys?
I'm surprised.
That's who I had. I think they were going Walker all the way.
Well, I mean, he was my second choice.
Yeah.
Out of the two, but
like the pick is already in for Detroit.
Yeah, of course it is. Because Detroit got the number 1 pick.
Correct.
Because Detroit and that's what I told you. What did I say?
Yeah.
I said if they take Trayvon Walker, Detroit will walk that thing up like it's Aiden Hutchinson is the number 1 overall
there's
pick.
your buddy.
There's Mel Kiper.
There's Mel.
And you know what Mel's saying right now? I can't hear Mel because he's on mute right now. What he's telling us right now is, I can't believe what just happened with the number 1 pick. Aiden Hutchinson just became the number 1 pick at number 2 overall.
Yep.
Thank you. Wow. Somebody said I sounded just like him, but that's not a compliment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't think it was meant as one.
I don't understand why I'm getting attacked for Mel Kiper Jr. here. I don't think I'm responsible for Mel's picks. I picked Aiden Hutchinson, and Mel right now is probably seconding that, but, you know, we all said it here. If Aiden didn't go first overall, it was going to be a simple pick.
Well, the next pick is no-brainer.
Yeah,
the classic don't overthink it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the Lions are going to say, and how many tickets are you going to sell keeping a Michigan guy here?
In their little sweat room there, they're scrambling, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, there's no pressure. It's like, wait, really? And they're like writing it down, like, did we spell it right?
I feel like they're so nervous they're going to put like Arvin Hutchinson. They're going to put Barry Sanders. Oh, we'll take Barry. So, also a fun known fact, when Barry Sanders was drafted, they put up Rob Drummond's picture from Syracuse. They actually did.
I didn't know that.
They actually did. They put up Rob Drummond's picture for Barry Sanders when he got drafted. So I got to talk to Rob about that. Yeah, this is an easy, simple pick. This is embarrassing how right we were on this. That when we said if Detroit gets Aiden, it'll be like they got the number 1 overall pick, and literally Trayvon Walker was named, and the Lions put their pick in before Trayvon Walker was even off the camera.
But it's one guy.
I know. I'm okay. Listen, I said now he's on my team, so I love him and I want him to do well. I just, Detroit gotta steal here. They gotta steal. Good for them. Aiden Hutchinson.
There we go.
Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall to the Detroit Lions, and so
the Detroit losers.
Yeah, they need a lot more help too. We know that. We know they need some more help.
No, really, they ought to force him to sell the team because he ain't done shit right since he's owned it.
Yeah. So let's go to so Aiden Hutchinson is drafted. We're not surprised. We're going to move on because I need to lighten the blow that I just felt here. I need to put some ointment on the wound.
Icky's the next pick.
16 overall for the Saints. I had defensive end Jermaine Johnson II, who I covered from Florida State. Who do you guys have?
I have Drake London.
Drake London.
And then other possibility, I have Trevor Penning as another possibility if he's there.
Okay, all right.
Right. I had London too, if he was still there, because I had him earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
And look at the guy who's
big. He's
on the stage right now. Wearing the hat of the wrong cat.
No, that's too bad.
Okay, 17. I'm sorry. So I had Jahan Dotson, Jermaine Johnson, and then I said Jameson Williams. Okay, 18 for the Eagles. I have them going corner. Khair Elam out of Florida. I have them taking.
I have the Eagles going Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe Dean. I like Nakobe Dean. I had the opportunity.
Other possibility, I have Trent McDuffie if he's there.
Yeah.
At corner. I think they're going to address.
Dean, but I had Jameson Williams if he was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fan of Nakobe Dean. Got to cover him also at Georgia in the college football playoff. Next up here, I have the Saints with their second pick of the top 20. I have the Saints going 19 overall. Wide receiver Treylon Burks out of Arkansas.
I have the Saints go with Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa.
Okay.
If he's there. And then I think they're going to go offensive line because I have Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. So I think.
You think they'll go O-line?
Yeah. I think that's.
You think they'll go O-line with both? Or you have
No. I think
at 16?
16, if they don't move, I think at 16
they're going to take a receiver. Okay.
And then I think at 20 they go offensive line.
See, I have them going defensive line and receiver. Al, what do you have for the second Saints pick, number 19?
For the Saints?
Yeah. Their second one around.
I didn't have one.
Al had Trevor Penning with me. He likes him.
I like Penning. I actually was hoping I actually liked the guy. I actually followed him a little bit.
I do too, and I like Northern Iowa guys. I mean, Buffalo's starting right tackle Spencer Brown is out of Northern Iowa.
Look at how quick the draft is going after Jacksonville took so long. It's like Aiden Hutchinson, done. The Texans were like, cool, he's gone. We got our pick now. So will they go with Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, or will they go with Ekwonu out of NC State? I think those are the three choices.
I think you got to go with Icky.
Yep.
You got Icky. I got Evan Neal. I thought Evan Neal. I gave him the slight edge over Icky.
Well, I had Stingley as a backup.
Oh no, and I like that too because I said I had Stingley as a backup at 13. So I think the Stingley might be the surprise of the draft because he all of a sudden the last week he's been creeping up draft boards. I'm like, this guy, because after his freshman year, he could have gone top 5, but he obviously technically couldn't leave.
Right.
Had a couple injuries, and now I'm like seeing him early, like 17, 18. I'm like, this guy's a steal.
Would it be possible for the Houston Texans to have their pick say everyone else available on Georgia to just take the rest of the Georgia championship team? Just shift it right over?
I would trade this pick if I was Houston, but they didn't. But that's what I would do. You said, you need everything.
Yeah.
Get your draft capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did shed Deshaun Watson, who may or may not play. So.
Yeah, but Atlanta needs everything too, so they're going to fight over everything.
Yeah. That Atlanta, when it gets to 8, it's going to be so interesting.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's got to go receiver. I'm concerned they're going to go Jameson Williams, who really had one season. When the sure bet is Drake London, but Jameson Williams is the guy that you look at the speed and you look at the fact that he's got. The team that he's coming from, and also the fact that, you can swing and hit on that just like Trayvon Walker, Jacksonville's trying to do. Number 20 overall, we'll give in just a second after the Houston Texans let us know their pick as it is in. We are here giving our live DraftCast special of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Off the Rails with Al Extension, Al Romano, national champion, CNY native, played with Tony Dorsett with the Pitt Panthers. We have the Bville Bills backers president, Jeff Cook.
Non-national champion.
Myself, Dan Tortora. And I am so happy to be here with you inside a Pizza Man Pub every single month on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. And, of course, we're with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora's normal scheduled broadcast on mixlr.com and where you're watching and listening right now on youtube.com and facebook.com, all / Wake Up Call DT, including mixlr.com / Wake Up Call DT. I thought they traded it. It looked like the Cardinals for a second.
Derek Stingley, there you go, Al.
There, all right.
I like it.
Look at that. Al coming up with Derek Stingley, higher on the board here. I had him at 9. You and I had him at 9, right?
Yeah, I had Stingley going 9, yeah.
Yeah, so Derek Stingley, look at...
just said, I was like, I would not be shocked if he went 3. He has been going up draft boards the last 2 weeks. People are like, oh, wait. They probably watched his film as a freshman. They're like, oh, that's when he's healthy. That's what he is.
I can't remember. I saw a clip of him working out for one of the tryouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this kid. I think he's faster than people thought he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek Stingley, the first corner off the board here, above Ahmad Gardner. So I think that what makes sense here is now, especially with Stingley off the board, I think the Jets, we all have Ahmad Sauce Gardner. I think they run this pick in, too, not wanting to let up, because if Stingley's already off the board and you have that corner gone, that takes away your cushion. So they have to go with Sauce, I think, because they have another pick at 10, but I don't think Sauce is going to make it to 10.
No, God, no. And then, like Al, I actually have here in my 20 players, I say, Derek Stingley could be steal of the draft. Would have been a top 5 pick after his freshman year if the injuries didn't hit him. So that's a great pick.
There you go. Al Romano.
I like them.
And I like that Lovie Smith came in.
And I like
no
LSU.
expectations, and that Lovie Smith was like, we're going to address
Yeah.
their biggest need is everything, but they went and got the best player. Probably the best overall player.
Well, and a Houston Oiler just made the correct pick for the Houston Texans.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe you should have been the one that walked that pick up.
Yeah.
When I say best player, he has that big of potential in that ceiling of.
Well, I mean, Derek Stingley's going to have to play corner and wide receiver.
His
So.
old man played in the league, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play both.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
He played back when I played. That's
Right.
why
Right. Oh yeah.
That was my inside.
He played defensive back too.
Can Stingley play quarterback? Is my question.
Stingley,
Davis Mills, come on, give Dougie Mills some bread.
I like Davis Mills out of Stanley. I do like him. I'm happy he got to play last year. I thought he was a steal in the draft.
I think he might be.
He's a third-round pick.
Even either your boy Trevor or him are going to be the best quarterback in that draft.
who's
I
next?
hope so. The next one is number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I defer to Mr. Pittsburgh. If there was a sash,
National
he'd be
champion.
wearing it here.
I didn't even get that far on my sheet.
Well, you
because
tell us what you think.
I didn't think we would make it this far. This is going quicker than I
And
thought.
off the rails with Al, I would not do this with you and not let you give me pick
Well,
number 20.
Actually, thinking that far down when I was doing it, I was thinking Willis if he was around.
Malik Willis, okay.
That's who I have.
You know, I think Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett, but I think you stay with the hometown guy. You stay with the guy who you've been able to train with. So
Mike Tomlin adores Malik Willis.
Yeah.
That's what
But
I think. You see that upside of Malik Willis, and people are just enamored by it. And I think Pickett is the more steady pick.
well, Pickett is more of what they have. They have pocket
Right.
passers in Pittsburgh.
But Pickett can move. He's no Roethlisberger.
Well, yeah, we saw him do that break your ankle thing. Remember
No,
we
the
watched
slide.
that play.
He was going to do the
Yeah,
slide like
he-
he was
fake
going
slide.
The
down.
fake slide in his
Now-
ankle turn.
Now the Kenny
Remember?
Pickett rule.
We literally watched that here. Al and I, we both thought he was going to break his
You
ankle.
watch. They're going to change the rule because of that.
No, they did. It's the Kenny Pickett rule now.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I did.
Yes,
when did
it's
this come out?
a couple weeks ago. I was just reading about it.
Oh, I haven't heard
Like
that.
it's a joke. People are calling it the Kenny Pickett rule now.
When you're going to
The
slide,
fake
it's
slide.
well because it's quarterback. Anyone else couldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But I think they go Kenny Pickett just because of what Mike Tomlin and the Steelers have done in recent past. And you look at who they brought in, right? They have Mitch Trubisky. You know, you don't have running quarterbacks that you're bringing in. I think their style is the pro style pocket passer, so that's why I went with Kenny
And
Pickett at 20.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not against Malik
I
Willis
wouldn't
going
count
there,
out Maserati Mitch being very serviceable. He took Matt Nagy to the playoffs twice.
Yeah. I mean, and I watched Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I covered him when he was at North Carolina, so he played only a couple seasons as a starter.
Oh yeah.
But number 21, the Patriots. I have Patriots going linebacker. If Devin Lloyd out of Utah is still there, I have Devin Lloyd. If not, I have Nakobe Dean.
I had that Burks.
Jameson Williams, you said?
What's his name?
I think he's
Burks?
going to be gone already. Jameson will go earlier.
Yeah, you have Trayvon Burks at
Burks.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
The receiver at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have to address
But I
the
don't
receiver.
think. But the thing
that's
is,
Belichick. He never.
well, and Belichick. The thing with Belichick though is he doesn't usually go high on skill guys, and he went high on Sony Michel. That was a swing and a miss. And in N'Keal Harry, he went high on him, and that was a swing and a
won't be on
miss.
the roster,
So
yeah.
I think that he's going to go defense. in
I
the
have
first
him
round.
going corner. I have him either going McDuffie or Dax Hill. Dax Hill from Michigan. Dax Hill is a Belichick dude. He can play safety, he can play corner.
Yeah.
Super smart.
I think
good
Dax is
tackler.
going to fall in the draft.
But right at 21, right there for
Yeah,
Belichick.
I think they go defense because I think that Belichick. I don't think he doesn't. They don't usually go skill guys, and he did twice and it didn't work.
No, I know, and yeah.
I think he'll stop doing that now.
I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be if Dean is there. I wouldn't be surprised with Dean either.
Well, that's the thing. I think they go with Lloyd or Dean. I like Dean more, but that could be, just because of being around,
always my favorite part watching the Jets when it was in New York.
Yeah.
It was at Radio City watching the Jets fans get all angry.
Oh, yeah. The Jets fans.
Oh God.
I just love watching the Wayne Corbett jerseys everywhere. But we'll see who they have here as we're going through our mock draft, as we're bringing you the draft. We're pulling double duty with Al Romano, Jeff Cook, myself, Dan Tortora, and Off the Rails with Al Special here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside a Pizza Man Pub, 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. And we are bringing you our mock draft picks, going through round one, addressing it and analyzing it while the picks are coming in. So we're telling you who we would go with, 1 through 32, and then we're going back, and as the draft is happening, saying what has actually gone down, and we're analyzing the mock draft and analyzing the actual draft simultaneously. We've all picked Ahmad Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati to the Jets. Let's see if the Jets make this pick after we just saw another corner go right before. Do it.
I do like the music if we or on the TV if we put it up. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Sauce.
Sauce Gardner.
There we go. We were all correct on my guy, Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
I love everything about him. His moxie, his
Yeah, but I
everything.
had him going.
You had him going with us.
Right.
We all had him at 4. Ahmad Sauce Gardner, the consensus to a lot of people, 4th overall pick to the Jets. I'm a big fan of Sauce. Got to interview him this season. I've covered Cincinnati for almost a decade now. Big fan of Luke Fickell. Big fan of Ahmad Sauce Gardner. I was at Nippert Stadium when they won the American Athletic Championship game over Houston, which sent them into where they should have been the year before, which is the college football playoff. The committee, out of all these years, in my opinion, finally got it right. And I got to talk to Sauce, and man, I am a big fan of Sauce. You can go to wakeupcalldt.com, see our interview. I am a Ahmad Sauce Gardner fan. I'm not a Jets fan, but I may buy a Sauce jersey, especially if it says Sauce on the
I gotta
back.
ask you, watching so much, I have one comparison of who he reminds me of in the NFL.
Of
Reese.
Sauce?
Who do you think? I mean, he's big, he's tall, he's a good tackler, he's really smart, he's
Yeah.
got moxie, he's got Richard Sherman written all over him.
Yeah, I think
He's a more athletic Richard Sherman.
Wow.
I think the thing is, I think the statistic is that nobody has ever, they haven't scored on him.
Correct.
They in college they have not scored on Sauce. They stay away from him in games. I mean, the man is just elite.
How many corners are 6'3", 200 pounds?
Right, and how many guys can move like he does?
Yeah.
He moves like a gazelle. You think he's skinnier because of the fact that he can just get around here. I mean, Sauce is incredible. And the thing that what I want for him though is because he had a deal with A1, I want his jersey to say Sauce, and I want it to have the 1 on the back of it.
Yeah.
I will buy it
Well, that's
immediately.
what I liked about him. When he came out, he's like, no, I want to go to New York. I want the attention. I like that about...
Oh, he's ready for the attention.
He's so
because
ready.
he felt like Cincinnati deserved it, and he did not shy away from the fact that they have a chip on their shoulder, and he knows what people were saying about them. He has lived with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to a team that needs all the help that they can get. He's going to love being in the big lights, love being at MetLife, love being in East Rutherford, New Jersey, because they're the New Jersey Jets.
There's only one team in New York.
Yeah, there's only one New York team that has a New York address. Let me just ask this question. Do they pay New York or New Jersey taxes? That's my question. Hopefully they
New
pay.
Jersey, because that's where they're...
Well, that's where the stadium
They
is.
work, yeah.
So can I say the Dan Tortora Broadcast Media LLC is in New Jersey? So I have to pay 8% tax?
Yeah.
Can I do
the
that?
New York show, yeah. No, just put your
What'd you say? What'd you say?
The Redskins going too.
Yeah.
put your corporation out of
Yeah.
Jacksonville. You're good.
Oh yeah, I should put there's no state tax.
Yeah.
Just that is the second home of the show. So I do have address in both, so
There you go.
why not just move it down there for sure?
What do we think? Here's where we came with the cross and the kneel.
Yeah.
We went back and forth. You had...
I have Ekwonu here because he's fallen here. I have the Giants taking Ekwonu, but Neal is also still available, so it's either or.
Guys, get offensive line. Offensive line.
Yeah. I think they're going Neal or Ekwonu.
The pick is...
Who do you want?
I'm not that deep into.
You're not that deep into it. You just want an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I've got to tackle.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that they've needed to do this entire time. So hopefully,
Did Icky have character issues? Is that what it is?
I don't think so.
I was trying to read about it.
You know, the thing that I like about NC State though that people don't give credit to Dave Doran for. Dave Doran knows how to find guys in high school that not only fit what he wants at NC State, but he gets guys that he sees something in these guys that he brings in that he knows they're NFL caliber guys. He perennially sends guys to the NFL. The Bradley Chubbs, he sent Matt Days here. He sent, it's slipping me right now. He sent Nyheim Hines to the NFL. He has sent numerous players to the NFL. He somehow sees something in them when they're 16 years old that he knows that not only are they good for NC State, but they're good for the NFL. He's got a knack that's just beyond. He's got a gift. Dave Doran has a gift.
So what?
I think they're going to go with Ekwonu
On
the,
another point, when's the last time in NFL draft first 4 picks were on the defensive side of the ball?
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And normally people say that it's not exciting, right? It's not exciting to not see a quarterback or a receiver or running back, but it's not the year of that. It's the
also
year of
refreshing.
defense and offensive
It's
linemen.
refreshing to not see these teams. Obviously, they don't like Lions might have years past. Lions might have reached and taken that.
Well, the thing
Whoever
is,
knows, they took the sure pick.
Yeah.
And they'll figure it out.
well, the thing is, you don't need. Arguably, all the teams that need a receiver can let it go in the first round. There are so many receivers in this draft that there's going to be guys around 4, 5, 7 that might make the team. It's so deep in receiver that, I would address, and George O'Leary said this to me a long time ago when he was the UCF head coach. He said, you build your team from the inside out, offensive and defensive line. You build your team in the trenches. Any coach who doesn't know that and that's how you win a championship should do something else. And we're finally seeing teams do this. And now the pick is in for the Giants. It's Ekwonu or Neal. I have Ekwonu in this
Hype
one.
man.
I have
Now, who's the hype
Icky
man?
Ekwonu. Oh, the hype guy? We'll see.
Who the hell's that?
Let's see who they got. The Giants have selected question mark. Lot of excitement right now.
I didn't think Icky would be here. But
Yeah, what? And that's the thing. Yeah, you guys both had Icky going earlier. I
I
had
had Icky going 3.
Icky being here, but I thought Neal would have been gone already. So
I had Cross
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I had Cross here.
it's Neal or Icky. It's one of the two. I do want to address the fact that in the 2020 draft, the Giants general manager was in his office by himself, and when the camera came on, he put his mask on. I do want to let people know that that's the guy that's making your picks for you.
Who's that?
Their general manager.
That was Gettleman.
Yeah, that was Gettleman back then, yeah.
Yeah,
Dave
oh, yeah.
Gettleman, yeah.
Yeah.
Thibodeau. They've gone with Kayvon Thibodeau. They did not go offensive line.
Oh.
They went defense.
So I had Thibodeau going to the Giants at 7.
And so did I.
So
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I had Trayvon Walker.
I count him going at 7 as a win.
Oh, yeah. So Kayvon Thibodeau, that is I thought that they were going to go defensive end. I thought Thibodeau would have been gone. So I had them going D-end at 7, and they went D-end at 5. So let's see if they go off. See, but here's the thing. If you have the Panthers are going to go Cross, Ekwonu, or Neal, which means that the Giants will still have their pick of the 3.
That's what they're thinking.
Yeah, so the Giants are thinking, let's take Thibodeau.
Cross was their
Ekwonu.
guy. I think he was before. They're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, I had
Icky-
Walker.
Yeah, I think them knowing they're going to have their
I only
choice.
had him because I knew that they need defense.
I think it's interchangeable. We had like Trayvon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau coming in here, but because there's 3 offensive tackles now available, the Giants cannot miss at pick number 7.
No, you're right. Yeah.
They can't miss. So you take yeah, right. Unless they go for a punter, maybe they do that.
Daniel Jones.
Or they go for Malik Willis.
What quarterback or running back you have, if you can't block for it,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
And that's the big thing. We were talking about Saquon Barkley. If he doesn't have the right blockers, he's done. If he doesn't get what he needs this year, this will be the last time you see him with the Giants, which is sad because a good friend of mine, Deandre Smith, is now the Giants running backs coach, and he loves that he has Saquon Barkley. So you want to keep him around. They're going to have to keep him happy. But, yeah, I mean, again, we talked about, after 4 picks, we said it's a wide open season. You said it. And now we're having open season where the Giants got Kayvon Thibodeau, and now they can do whatever they want at offensive tackle because the Panthers, no matter who they take, are going to leave Ekwonu, Cross, or Neal. I mean, that's the truth. So you got 3 starting offensive tackles sitting here right now, waiting.
Oh, my. Yeah. I mean, there goes your experience. When's the last time you see the top 5 picks on the defensive side of the ball? But
Yeah.
I agree with you. I still firmly believe that the Giants' number 1 O-lineman was Cross.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not saying he's the best. I think that was their guy.
So
And
do they
they're
really
thinking,
think Carolina's
They're thinking
not
that
gonna take
Carolina's going to go Icky.
Yeah.
NC State, local boy. They got to see him more than normal.
Oh, yeah, because they saw him in Raleigh, not too far away from Charlotte.
Couple, 3, yeah. So Or Neal. I think Cross has been the Giants guy, so I'm going to go with Icky or Neal here.
But can you imagine a world where Neal falls out of the top 10? Because it could happen.
It's going to happen. If he doesn't go 7, it's going to happen.
Shocked.
It's because he didn't want to disclose that medical
You
stuff.
said that he dodged some of the
Yeah,
medical
he was like, I don't want to do this medical stuff. And for these teams, classic overanalyzing.
Not sure. Not sure, Al. Not sure, Al. Just wait.
Jordan.
In a water too. A water too, please. Oh, wow. Uh-oh.
He was looking for a blocker.
I can reach you with this glass.
Welcome to Bville.
So I do. Where did we stop?
I love Central and Upstate New York where a bartender says to you, you got legs, move. That you will only find that in a blue-collar city. So good for you, Jordan. I like that.
What are you drinking? Shirley Temple?
Yeah.
May I have a water or shall I get up, Jordan? What would you like? It's up.
The merrier.
Okay.
I'm petrified to order a drink.
Al can get you.
I'm not thirsty.
That's all happening right here live, too, on Pizza Man Pub, 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville. Having some fun with Jordan.
I knew.
Yeah. We're having some fun with the entire crew here, including Jordan, and make sure you tip your bartenders. They work very hard.
So we were at 20. We were
21.
22.
20,
Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, we were at 22. Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I have Green Bay. Now, I think they're going to go receiver, but they have 22 and they have 20. They have 22 and 28. I think they're going to play with Aaron Rodgers again, and I think they're going to go 22
You had
defensive
Walker.
end.
I had Walker going.
I have George Karlaftis out of Purdue.
I have Dotson or Burks at 22.
Yeah, I think that at 28 they're going to go with Christian Watson out of North Dakota State.
I honestly think they're going to move and go up.
You think the Packers are going to go up?
I think they're going to evaluate this and they're going to see if
What are they going to do? Go to Jameson Williams?
Olave. Can you imagine? There is not a better combination in this draft than Aaron Rodgers and Jameson Williams if he gets it.
Yeah.
I think that Green Bay, they never do it. They always do. I would be shocked if they did not move up. They're not giving Aaron Rodgers 3 for 150 to not go get him whatever he needs.
So we got some comments that came in here. Bill Cook said, "Go Dogs." Who's in the bar watching? Giants need to pick Neal.
It's my old man.
Oh yeah, and so
That's
big shout out. And then we have Fly Eagles Fly.
I would like a coaster.
And then Bills don't make me toss you. Billy, don't make me toss you a beating here. And then we have. I like that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Jordan.
Oh, my pleasure.
Jordan is the best bartender in the world.
Say that with a straight face.
Jordan is the most intimidating bartender in the world.
Yeah, please tip your bartenders. folks.
Jordan, I agree. You're the best bartender here.
But do not smile at her.
You're lucky your looks make up for it.
So while it's a commercial,
Well, it's a commercial. I want to give one of our
Yeah.
Bills backers a big shout out. Rick Mullen just had a tricky heart surgery, so I don't know if he's watching or whatever he's doing, but I did want to give Rick a shout out and hope you're doing well and hope to see you soon.
And who is that again? Rick Mullen?
Rick Mullen, yeah.
Rick Mullen. So, Rick Mullen, our prayers are with you. Please stay safe and stay well. And, we definitely send you our prayers, our well wishes, and to heal quickly, to heal completely, and to have a fantastic life ahead of you. May you have just started living. So, big shout out to
he'll be
Rick.
ready to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah. We're excited for you, Rick. Rick, do you want Breece Hall? That's the question. Is that where you're going? So I think the Packers should go receiver, but I think they're gonna continue to mess with Aaron Rodgers. I think they're gonna go defensive end and piss him. Think about this. They had this weird marriage where Aaron Rodgers is like publicly addressing all the things he doesn't like, and then they go and change some stuff. They bring Randall Cobb back, and then you finally sign Aaron Rodgers. You give him $50 million a year. And like 3 days after you sign him, you get rid of his number one weapon, Devontae Adams?
It's literally
What is that?
It's the couple that fights in public and gets home and just can't keep their hands. It's just they despise each other and then
Yeah.
they just can't get. Yeah,
Are you claiming that the Packers have angry sex?
Yeah, confirmed. Confirmed.
We can confirm there's some angry sex in Cheesetown.
The only thing to do in Green Bay
is to have angry sex. Very nice.
Pickett.
So, you think Kenny Pickett's going here? Oh yeah, they got him up here.
Yeah.
What if the Carolina Panthers go quarterback? That's what I had.
I had Malik Willis.
I had Charles Cross or quarterback, and my quarterback of choice would have been Malik Willis for the Panthers because they had Cam Newton. So they do like the dual threat.
Everybody's had Cam Newton.
And like I said,
Florida's had him, Auburn's had him, and a bunch of NFL teams have had him.
New England.
Matt Rule drafting a quarterback here.
Carolina twice. Yeah.
Matt Rule drafting a quarterback here. He's holding on for dear life. He's like, I need one more year. He gets that one more year if he gets a quarterback. Because their owner is like, I don't care what you do, get a damn quarterback.
Well, and the thing is, when you bring back the quarterback, there it is.
There it is.
Ike Ekwonu. So the Panthers go with Ekwonu. So we see the first offensive tackle, first offensive player off the board, first offensive lineman off the board, first offensive tackle off the board, which means the Giants can get Cross. So you said if you thought that Cross was definitely their guy.
I had them
Now he
going
falls to
Cross
them.
at 5
Cross,
and Thibodeau at 7.
I tell you, I love Cross.
So they have Charles Cross out of Mississippi State or Evan Neal out of Alabama. Either way, you got somebody from the SEC.
I am shocked.
Well,
This draft is
now
strange.
that they got to 5, I wasn't even thinking about it. That makes sense with Thibodeau, knowing you were going to have your pick of 2 or the 3 top linemen. Offensive
that's
linemen.
true.
It's like, all right, if you had Thibodeau as your number 1 player,
Well, it was a
and they're
no-
thinking,
It was a no-brainer.
yeah. I wasn't yeah.
You know, and the Giants, I thought they might have kept 5, traded 7, but the way that this draft has gone, you
right
can do
in their
whatever the
hands.
heck you want. I said, get offensive line, get defensive line, and they got, like you said, if Thibodeau was their guy, he falls to them.
Yeah.
And then they have 3 choices at offensive
And
tackle.
then if Cross was their
They're
guy,
fine.
he fell to him too.
Yeah.
Or Neal.
So they must have felt confident enough. So now you get Cross or Neal.
Where was the bad press on Cross?
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, I had him at 6, and he's going to go 7.
He was
so.
just dropped. I don't know.
I don't know why he's
I don't know.
why he's still around.
So then after the Giants, do we still think the Falcons will take a wide receiver?
Yes.
Now that this draft is so weird. I had Drake London as the first receiver
They
off the board.
They lost Russell Gage to Tampa.
Yeah.
They lost Ridley for a year to gambling BS.
To a lot of stuff.
So they're gonna have Kyle Pitts and who else? And you want to give Mariota the best shot? I would go.
Well, I
it's
mean,
too
if you don't
rich of
bring
a draft.
anybody else
you go
in.
Garrett Wilson. You go Jameson Williams. You go Chris Olave. I don't think you're gonna miss.
Well, the thing is, if you don't take a wide receiver, then they're going to double team Pitts, and then you got nothing. They don't have a running back. They don't have receivers. They don't have a quarterback.
You have to go receiver.
Atlanta hasn't had a scary defense. Atlanta legitimately does not have much of anything.
They got rid of their best player. They lost their best player to gambling, and then they got rid of their other best player,
Well,
Matt
my
Ryan, in a trade.
Well, I mean, my thing with Matt Ryan is I thought he had a couple years left going into last season, but I never thought it would be this unceremonious. If you're gonna, how many teams have come into this draft that don't have a quarterback? Washington doesn't necessarily have it. Indy doesn't necessarily have a guy for the future. They keep taking one-year guys that are veterans that are past their prime, arguably, and then you have, you know.
I don't think Detroit. I think at 32, Detroit's going to draft a quarterback.
I think at 32, Detroit's going to take Pickett or Willis.
Yeah, I have Desmond Ritter as a wild card, but you don't.
Well, I think if Ritter, depending on what happens, and that's the other. This is the benefit to Ritter, and I like Ritter a lot. And when you look at Ritter's numbers, and people stop this BS that he played in the American Athletic, and they don't give credit where credit's due. They want to get on Desmond Ritter, and I think if he went to Florida or he went to Georgia or he went to LSU, they would make excuses for him.
He's a winner.
Yeah, but they don't make excuses for him because he went to Cincinnati. Look at his numbers statistically. Statistically, he is a better performer than the other quarterbacks that they have out there. He's more consistent than Kenny Pickett, or he's right there with Kenny Pickett. He's more consistent than Malik Willis, more consistent than any of the other guys that they have out there, Matt Corral. Desmond Ritter's not a bad pick, and I'm going to tell you this. Desmond Ritter could be somebody in the draft that we look back on and could arguably be the best or one of the 2 best quarterbacks, and he benefits from a season that only has about 4 to 6 quarterbacks to be drafted. Yep. He benefits this year because if he came out in a year that was rich in quarterbacks, I feel like they would leave him off the list and he'd have to try and make a team.
I also think if he went to a team like Detroit, what are you going to do next year? You're paying Goff regardless.
Yeah.
Let Ritter watch for a year. I think Ritter has a real chance. I have Ritter compared to, like I said earlier, about Davis Mills. I'm like, Mills has a chance to be the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in that class with Lawrence and him.
Yeah.
And he was a 4th-round pick? 3rd-round pick?
3rd-round pick.
Ritter would have been a 3rd-round pick last year, or a 4th-round pick because of the quarterback draft. And now,
Desmond Ritter would have definitely fallen in a draft where there's a ton of quarterbacks. If there was like 8, 9, 10 guys, they would have put him in the third to. They probably would have put him in the 4th or 5th round. And, And because of this year, he's going to benefit as a 2nd or 3rd rounder. I think he deserves it, but he's going to get it this year.
38 wins in college, or like 38 and 6.
It was kind of like he never lost at home.
Yeah, he just wins. Yeah.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter's numbers are legitimately they're the best numbers you're going to find of the
like
4 quarterbacks we're talking
about.
about.
The SEC and had those wins, they'd be like,
And he beat Notre Dame.
I get a feeling that the Giants are going to go for a quarterback.
You think? We're going to fight. Yeah. I mean,
Well, the Giants go Malik Willis and blow this whole thing up.
Well, I mean,
There he is. That's my dude, Evan Neal. Evan Neal.
Wow.
Got to interview him in the college football playoff as well. Big shout out to Neal. Guess who his offensive line coach was? Doug Marrone. Dougie Marrone was his offensive line coach. Yeah, we talked about Doug Marrone. He called Doug Marrone an encyclopedia of football.
Where did
I'm
Doug
telling you, Doug
end up?
Marrone.
Doug was Alabama
Did he
offensive
leave
line coach.
He left Alabama, though.
What, you happy?
Yeah, I am.
You are?
Did you see him on the combine day?
Evan.
He did? Between, the things you jump up on and lift your knees to your chest and jump up on them?
Yeah.
He split him.
Yeah.
He split him
Yeah.
like that. Offensive tackle.
I think. Listen, he was the first offensive tackle I thought should have been off the board, and you got him. And you got him. the Giants.
Now
take Evan
is where
Neal.
the draft is about to get real.
Will the Falcons go wide receiver? Will the Falcons go wide? While we're waiting, I'm going to read you Desmond Ritter's stats, just for fun here. Here's Desmond Ritter's stats. 62.4% completion percentage, 55.1, 66.2, 64.9. Over 2,400 yards, 2,100 plus, 2,200 plus, 2,300 plus. He never had a season of double-digit interceptions. 20-5, 18-9, 19-6, 30-8 he had. Those are his numbers when looking at Desmond Ritter. If he wasn't at Cincinnati and he was in the SEC or he played for Clemson, everybody would be all over him. But he's going to fall to round 2 or 3, and thankfully he's in a draft that's not deep in quarterback, so he gets a real chance and hopefully gets paid. But Desmond Ritter, I'll tell you, if a team in the 2nd round or the 3rd round can snag him up, I think he's a 2nd-round pick this
He's
year.
also by far in the
And they keep
overall
talking about
player.
his
He's the
leadership.
most mature player in the draft.
Yeah, and they keep talking about the
not just
leadership.
quarterback position. He is so mature. He's a father. Apparently, he's a great father. He's a father in college. He's done. There's not one person that has a bad thing to say about him.
I have interviewed him many times, and I have never not been, I'm going to double negative, I have always been a Desmond Ritter fan. Every time I've talked to him, every time I've been around him, I am consistently impressed by Desmond Ritter. He made me into a Cincinnati fan, him and Sauce in the squad. I am a big Desmond Ritter fan, and they're gonna have to find a way to live without him. But and how about this?
I don't even know who they have. Yeah.
Did you guys know? Because I didn't know this. Admittedly, I don't know everything. I know some people in the world think they know it all today, especially on Twitter. But not everybody knows everything. I'm at the Cincinnati American Athletic Championship game against Houston, and I see these people walk by me wearing jerseys, and I see a jersey, and I go, you know who a Cincinnati Bearcat was? Kansas City Chief tight end Travis Kelce was a Cincinnati Bearcat.
Oh, really?
Kelsey, I think he was a 3rd-round pick. Yeah.
Cincinnati Bearcat. And how about this?
13.
How about this? Brian Kelly signs a deal with Cincinnati. I believe he signed an extension and something of the sort. If he was going to stay in Cincinnati, spurns them, goes to Notre Dame, and then in his final year coaching Notre Dame, Cincinnati beats him. That's full circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is full circle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to go back to pick 20. You think Malik Willis?
Yeah.
I think Kenny Pickett. You think Malik Willis. But do you think Pittsburgh has to go quarterback?
I think they do.
So what do you, I mean, my main reason is they're not a bad team. They don't have these glaring needs.
You know who they brought for...
Correct. Yeah. Mitch. In their worst case, he's their bridge. Best case, he's their guy.
He may be their starter, but...
Yeah.
You don't like Mason Rudolph?
Well, only if you can hit him in the head with a helmet.
And then Ducky Hodges just retired from football.
That's horrible.
No, I think...
It's horrible. And Josh Dobbs went to the Steelers, had a cup of coffee with the Jaguars, and went back to the Steelers. He was literally on the Jaguars roster for about 15 minutes and then went back to Pittsburgh.
I think with Pittsburgh, you go quarterback simply because there's not that...
They
weren't a
have
bad
to.
team. They have receivers. They have Naj. They have a great...
But if Kenny Pickett is there, don't you think the city of Pittsburgh would be screaming for
I don't
Kenny
think
Pickett?
you worry about the city. I think I think Malik Willis has... The upside of Malik Willis, Tomlin, everything I've read, loves Malik Willis.
But Kenny Pickett's had more time in the game. Malik Willis has had 2 good seasons because his first 2 seasons at Auburn, he barely played.
Malik can sit and watch Trubisky for a year, which I wouldn't play Malik.
But you're banking on Malik Willis. He played 2 years at Auburn barely, and then he played 2 years at Liberty. You're banking on Malik Willis in his 2 seasons. Kenny Pickett is a 5-year player at Pittsburgh.
I agree. First of all, the Steeler quarterback is the same one that Roethlisberger's had. And Pickett fits.
My pick is in.
Drake London. They want receiver.
That's who I had. Drake London. Drizzy Drake.
London. I had London.
I knew Arthur Smith couldn't resist himself.
Just plucked down in London town. Listen, they got a hit. You said they got a hit on some receiver, right? They had Julio Jones.
Yes, I had.
How about Julio Jones going to Tennessee and then now he's been released? That man could not stay healthy.
He needs to go to Indianapolis.
He could not stay healthy.
Went back up to Matt Ryan.
That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. So let's go down here to pick 23 for the Cardinals. I have them taking wide receiver. I have them taking wide receiver George Pickens out of Georgia because they tried Christian Kirk, it didn't work, and he just got paid by the Jaguars. AJ Green he was only supposed to be a temporary duct tape fix. So they don't have anybody on the other side of DeAndre Hopkins who wasn't 100% last year. So I think they go wide receiver. And by my list, the next available guy is George Pickens.
They did re-sign Green, but I think you're right. My next pick, I had them going...
Green is 105 years old.
Yeah, I had them going Treylon Burks. So
yeah, so you have him going receiver.
I have them going Treylon Burks or Dotson. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dotson.
Yeah, because after all this BS with Murray, they want to make him happy too.
Well, that's what I was saying. You have to make Kyler Murray happy, and that's why you make the pick at receiver.
So that's a great comparison. I mean, God rest his soul, but I think
Vincent Jackson.
I think Drake London, more recently, I see a lot of Mike Evans. He's a big 6'5".
That's who some people compared him to. Yeah. Yeah, I
mean,
saw the Mike Evans comparison.
He wins the more 50-50 balls. Than
Well, that was the thing is that he was the best at winning 50-50 in the whole country. Yeah. I think he led the country. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear the notes. I have huge wins majority of 50-50 balls comparison to Mike Evans.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong with any of those things.
He's 80% of Mike Evans. He's a hell of a receiver.
Yeah, that's very true. Number 24, Cowboys. I think they go interior offensive line. On the other side of Zach Martin, they go Kenyon Green or Zion Johnson. I have Kenyon Green keeping a Texas guy out of Texas A&M in Texas because you think about SEC in the state of Texas. Jerry Jones is flashy, so I think he goes with Kenyon Green. But if not, he goes Zion Johnson out of Boston College.
I have him going Tyler Smith, O-line out of Tulsa.
Okay, yeah. I like Tyler Smith too.
I have him going, what's this, Abekti out of the D-end out of Penn State to replace Randy Gregory.
Oh, yes.
Because Randy Gregory left. So those were my 2.
Yeah, they lost Randy Gregory. They lost the sweepstakes to Denver.
That's where I'm starting to think, I'm like, who does he want on the opposite side?
So my good friend Nate
Micah
Hackett,
Parsons?
yeah. Well, Micah Parsons, phenomenal, but Nate Hackett, just so you guys know, this is why it pays to listen live. I have a special, never-before-seen one-on-one discussion with Nate Hackett, the head coach of the Broncos, and that will air live tomorrow morning on Wake Up Call.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nate Hackett and I, uninterrupted.
Oh,
When did you record it?
Nate and I talked this week, so we spoke this week, and it was after they got Randy Gregory. So the Broncos are wheeling. I won't give this away, but Nate Hackett and we talk a lot, and when he got Russell Wilson, I texted him, and he immediately texted me back, and it was a fantastic text. It made me smile and laugh at the same time. When they got Russell Wilson, it was a beautiful thing.
They had to for making up. They had to for missing on Josh Allen 4 years ago. They had to get somebody.
Yeah. Well, Nate Hackett will be on Wake Up Call tomorrow morning, so make sure you tune in. So, what do you think, Al, for the Cowboys? You think they go offensive line?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Martin
Absolutely.
out of Notre Dame has saved them, but they need more.
They got so.
They
lost
paid
Tyler
Zeke too
Smith.
much money to not give him at least a line.
Yeah, but they were so beat up last year.
Who was it, Tyron Smith, that they had lost him?
And they have to go line.
Yeah.
They have to.
I agree.
And the other thing, that's why I put DN, because it wouldn't surprise me if Jerry Jones is very bitter about Gregory leaving.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he went with that kid from Penn State across from Parsons. But the smart pick is like they did with when he tried to draft Manziel and they ripped the card out of his hand. Just go offensive line.
Yeah, I think they got to go offensive line on this, and you got to lighten the load on Zach Martin. He's been carrying that line since he got into the NFL. So pick number 25. I guess that's the end of the show. You have a good night. We don't have to talk about the Bills, right? We don't have anybody here representing. That's it.
Yeah.
No, the Bills not taking any more questions.
No, they're trading down.
So Bville Bills backers president, I will defer to you. I know we talked about it a little bit, but with the 25th pick,
I have thought about this one for months, and I'm still in two players.
you should have thought about this pick for 2 years, based on Singletary
Breece
and
Hall.
Moss. Yeah.
Who?
Hall, you got to go with Hall. I think.
Breece Hall, Iowa State.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
running back, I think he's going to be there.
His
but
numbers
I
are
don't
uncanny.
think Andrew Booth out of the corner out of Clemson. I think that'd be a good pick because one,
I have him going later.
you don't know when Trey White's going to get back from that ACL. They lost Levi Wallace to Pittsburgh, so they have Dane Jackson who went to Pittsburgh University, and they have Trey White who they don't know who's going to be back. So they're slim at corner.
Yeah.
But if Hall is there,
But-
that's a
You've needed.
your offense is 100% complete if Hall's there.
I'm going to give you his numbers again because I did this earlier in the week. These are the numbers, and shout out to my guy Brad Townsend, who's a massive Bills fan. Brad, this is for you. Breece Hall. 2020, 279 carries, 1,572 yards, 5.6 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns, including 2 touchdowns receiving and 23 catches. In 2021, 253 attempts, 1,472 yards rushing, 5.8 yards a carry, 30 touchdowns, 36 receptions, 302 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Breece Hall is by far better than Kenneth Walker
So,
III.
I do have
Yeah.
Breece Hall as the Bills pick.
So do I.
You have to.
Can you see it, people? I have Breece
I don't
Hall.
care if you go Breece Hall and then you address your corner the next 6 picks.
You go Breece Hall.
You have to.
You go Breece Hall. Guys are going to fall. Safeties and corners are going to fall. You'll be fine. Listen, you guys have had Levi Wallace, who was the first guy ever interviewed out of Alabama. You had Matt Milano, who you re-signed, who I had out of BC. You had my guy you had Ed Oliver, who I covered out of Houston. In each part of the defense of the Bills, there was a guy that I knew that I was a fan of. Every position on your team has been taken care of for the most part, except for your running back. Josh Allen can run. He has weapons. They keep bringing guys in, but without a running back, the Buffalo Bills are not completely prepared for a Super Bowl run. They need a running back.
Oh, they can win a Super Bowl, not Breece.
I think they need Breece Hall.
There's no doubt about
I
it.
think Kansas City.
Breece Hall wasn't playing corner with 13 seconds left.
But I also think now that Tyreek's not there, he makes it easier.
Oh, yeah.
For the Bills.
Yeah, for sure.
13 seconds of defense.
Yeah, Breece Hall wasn't playing corner then.
Yeah.
Wasn't guarding the sideline when they had time out.
I know it hurts, but I think the running back.
I agree with you, but I
You
don't
gotta
think
go Breece Hall.
I think Brees Hall is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Who's this? Cross.
Seahawks.
There he is.
Finally.
Charles Cross.
Charles Cross.
Thank you.
I had Stingley here, so.
I don't know. I like this.
I like that pick a lot.
Can I read you the draft? Defense, 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 offensive lineman, wide receiver, offensive lineman. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders. So we started the draft with 5 defensive players, and we've followed with 4 offense. So we've gone all defense, and now we've shifted offense, and now we have the Jets, who I think are going to go wide receiver. So we could see 5 defense, 5 offense
It's
to
got to
start
be
the draft.
Garrett Wilson here, right?
That's who I have, Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
But
'Cause I had Drake London.
or Williams. And then I'm interested to see how far does Jermaine Johnson fall.
Jermaine Johnson, I think, falls to 16.
Okay.
I got him falling at DN to 16 because I think the Commanders go wide receiver. Then I think you have corner, safety, D lineman, wide receiver, and then you go Jermaine. Because Jordan Davis is an interior guy to Baltimore. It's going to be interesting.
This, like I said, once they got to Atlanta, it was just going to be who the hell.
Well, who would have? But think about all these teams, right? Detroit gets Aiden Hutchinson. They're like, holy crap, he's here. Then you see Kayvon Thibodeau. If you're the Giants, you go, holy crap, he's here. And then Icky, holy crap, he's here. And then Evan Neal, holy crap, he's here. And then Charles Cox. I mean, all these guys have fallen in the draft that you couldn't help but take them.
Oh, yeah. No.
It almost pays off to draft later in the top 10 this draft.
Wow.
Because Jacksonville made it so interesting. Have a good night. Thank you, sir. It's my guy. There's my dude. Talk about another good bartender in the community.
Yes.
So, number 10, we have Garrett Wilson. And for the Jets, who'd you have at number 10?
10.
Yeah, who'd you have at number 10 here? For Al Romano. Here on Wake Up Call with Dan
Al
Tortora.
has himself going 10.
No. I had Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson? Yeah, no, I mean, that's what surprised me too. I like Wilson because he's the best route runner in the draft.
Well, I
no
think the
doubt
Jets
about it.
have to go defense
So
offense.
polished, he's so polished. Wilson reminds me of Diggs a little bit. He doesn't have that crazy, like, he's got 4.5 speed. It's not anything nuts. He gets out of his breaks quick.
Well, how about
Man,
this?
he's a good route runner.
Charles Cross is blocking for Drew Lock.
That's true.
Because Seattle doesn't have a quarterback
Baker,
either.
Or Baker soon.
Well, that's the thing
Hey,
is,
where is he going? Where do you think Baker's going?
yeah, let's have the
I think he
conversation
stays
about.
with Cleveland this year.
Well,
This is the thing that makes no sense.
When you
They pick up his
rumors-
player option, and then they bring in Deshaun Watson.
No, the NFL's famous. They start a rumor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And believe me, they start it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to be on the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it's usually the team that wants to get rid of somebody who starts the rumor.
So you think the Niners were like, everybody wants Debo. He wants to leave.
Yeah. Now he's not available anymore.
Well, because Debo's only due $3 million this year. Because he's still under a rookie contract. So he's not getting paid much of, for the NFL, not much of anything. For us, some of us will never see $1 million in a lifetime. But
Robert Saleh
Who?
with the Jets head coach.
Yeah.
No, he don't. Saleh's not picking now.
I love, Al just showed how far the Jets have fallen. When you said Robert Saleh. Who?
Al goes, I had a 7th round grade on him.
What the hell are you
So
talking
Saleh is a guy that will love Garrett Wilson.
about? All right, no more of those noons things for you.
No, that was you. I said Robert Saleh. He said who? I couldn't even finish. I was like, that was my sleeper too.
Oh my God. Al just defined the Jets. They're a Broadway show. They're not a football team anymore.
You know what?
They are not a football team anymore.
And it's almost like nobody cares anymore. It's like Detroit. The
Yeah.
Lions are
Lovable loser.
They're a joke.
No, but this is the thing with
Expected.
with everything the Jets did with like Tim Tebow and the different guys they brought in and whatnot. They were becoming a Broadway show. And I said the Giants want to be on the front of the New York Times because they won a game, and the Jets want to do whatever it takes to be on the back of it, on the back cover. They don't care what you say. They're like a Kardashian as long as they're there.
Only because sometimes they lay the paper down backwards.
Because sometimes you put it in that way. Yeah. When you walk by all those New York City guys, the newsstands, they flip them over. So, yeah, it depends on what part of New York. There you go. I got another pick in this one. Garrett Wilson. Yes.
Where did I have Wilson?
Yes on yes for that one. I like. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. The Jets have drafted exactly the way I thought they should. So to my guys, Brendan Murphy as well as Ross Turetsky, I love you both. You guys got 2 picks that automatically give some relevancy to the Jets.
Yeah, we both had Sauce and Wilson.
We had Sauce and Garrett Wilson. So 100% of the time, we have been a good general manager for the Jets.
And this pick right here, like I said, 7th round grade Robert Saleh is going to love Garrett Wilson.
I was just about to say Robert Saleh just to see Al go, who?
He is one of the best route runners. He's the best route runner. He's a young Stephon Diggs, honestly.
You know what's the best thing to see if you're going out on a weekend to see the Jets? You know what the best thing is to see? The Phantom of the Opera. While you're there. Maybe if Rents comes back. But you know what I used to love about Giant Stadium is it's called Giant Stadium, and they got the big sign for Giant Stadium, and then they hung a banner with the Jets. I go, what's it like to have a loft apartment in somebody else's house?
Yeah.
At least they called it MetLife now. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, where you're not a New York team. So let's go to the Titans, 26. Who do we think? I have Zion Johnson out of BC to the Titans, interior offensive lineman.
I also have Zion Johnson.
Derrick Henry needs the help,
or Tyler Smith for Tulsa. And I did that with...
I love that you gave respect to Tulsa, by the way. Great team, cover them. Good friends with Philip Montgomery. I love that you have Tyler Smith in a bunch of these picks. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh, I like Tyler Smith a lot.
A lot of respect for it. If he falls to the second round, what a steal. And somebody said today there's no such thing as a steal. Tom Brady? Really? 6th round compensatory pick?
Yeah.
There is such thing as a steal. You know what's a good steal?
Yeah, but
Coach Saleh.
at the time.
You get him in 6th?
Rob, I just want to say Saleh. I just want to... I love you, Al.
I wasn't...
Listen.
I was paying attention to something else, and I had no idea.
How many people do you think can name 5 people on the Jets that aren't Jets fans?
I don't think Jets fans can name 5 people.
There you go.
On the Jets.
There you go.
No, really, think about it.
We can name the best 2 players that they have right now, Garrett Wilson and Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
There you go, yeah. The Jets are still... Fans still think Kevin Mawai's playing center there.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, and I love when I said, well, who are their receivers? They're like, well, Dan, they have Jamison Crowder. I'm like, he's been around for...
Jamison Crowder's a Bill.
And that's the thing, is like, that. But they're all, Jamison Crowder's really good for us. For a couple of years he was.
Jamison Crowder's now on the Bills. So it's like... So everyone's like, oh, we have Crowder. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Anyways, Wayne Corbett's really good.
I watch this thing every year, and I hate watching it right now because I really want to hear what they're saying, and we can't hear anything.
Well, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna wrap our mock here. We've gone through the first 10 picks, so we'll go just a little bit further, and then we'll bid you adieu here from Pizza Man. Let's go to pick number 27. I got the Bucs taking cornerback Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson, or I think they go offensive line because they lost Alex Kappa, the guard, to Cincinnati.
I had that Elam, I think.
Kyer Elam, yeah.
Yeah, Elam, hold on.
So another corner, and that out of Florida. That would be my...
Because I really didn't think we'd get this far.
I know. No, yeah, we're on pick what?
No, I was on my computer today. I mean, I'm all alone in the office, and it was driving me crazy. People were actually calling me for business, and I'm going, look at
the audacity.
Get the fuck off the phone. I got it serious.
Guys, I have a mock draft to do. Are you serious?
I'm going to be at Pizza Man at 7:30.
That's right.
I have to be prepared to do my mock draft. How dare you guys call me and ask me to run my business?
You people don't understand. Do you know what tonight is?
Hey, guys, it's Christmas Eve. I got a draft today. No, I get it. Tampa, I went Dax Hill.
Dax Hill. Okay, well, yeah, so we all went secondary. What about, so the Packers 28, I have them taking Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. He hails from Tampa, yeah. I got him finally taking a receiver. Listen, he's like 6'5", 6'6". He's a big guy, got good numbers. Christian Watson, to me, is a steal if he goes that low.
I have them going with Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia.
Okay, all right.
They lost to Darius Smith. So,
And you had them taking a receiver at 22.
I had them taking Trayvon Burks.
Yeah.
Or no, I had them taking Dotson.
Jahan Dotson.
You know, I can't believe that. I can't believe Pickett is not. I mean, I think the kid is good.
I think he goes 20.
Well, no.
I think he goes to 20.
What do we got?
We were talking Packers at 28.
No, we're.
I think he goes at 20. You got Malik Willis going here, so Kenny Pickett will drop. Yeah.
So I had Pickett as another possibility.
Yeah, you hit him
To
down
Desmond
there at the
Ritter,
line.
32, yeah.
Oh, that poor kid.
So the Chiefs have back-to-back picks. I think the Chiefs go receiver and safety, 29 and 30. I have the Chiefs taking one of the guys from one of my closest and dearest friends, Western Michigan, former offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, who's responsible for Eric Dungy coming to Syracuse, Tim Lester. I have his wide receiver who chose to forego his time at Western Michigan. I have wide receivers Sky Moore going to the Chiefs and Daxton Hill out of Michigan. So two guys in the state of Michigan going to Kansas City, Missouri, Sky Moore and Dax Hill. I think they go wide receiver and secondary. And Sky Moore looks to, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination, I am not saying that he is the answer to Tyreek Hill, but I think he's an aid to it. And there's been a trade here.
The Saints have moved up.
The Saints are moving up to 11, and then so the Saints could be taking a wide receiver or a quarterback.
It's got to be for a receiver.
They decided to take back Jameson Winston. They still have Taysom Hill, and they have Ian Book. So the Saints have traded up here to number 11 from the Commanders. So I think
it's got to be Jameson Williams.
I think the Saints are going receiver or quarterback.
No, I agree. Quarterback.
You think quarterback? Okay, so Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Here we go.
I think it's Jameson Williams or Chris Olave.
So we're agreeing that if the Saints move up here from 11 from the Commanders, who had it at 11, the Commanders got 3 picks for the Saints. So the Saints really wanted
I
this.
think the Commanders moved down hoping that Hamilton will be there at 16. Because I think they had him.
Well, it's deep, and now they have multiple picks to get a wide receiver.
Riverboat Ron had Kyle Hamilton high on his list.
I think because of the fact that now they have 3 picks, I think the Commanders know that we're rich in wide receivers, we're rich in secondary, and they can address one of the lines if they want to. I think the Washington Commanders made a great move here because the draft is deep, and I think the Saints moving up this draft and giving up 3 draft picks show how badly they want this guy.
11 for Jameson Williams. He doesn't tear his ACL as the top. He's taking over Wilson.
They had this Wickens.
Pickens.
George Pickens.
I have Pickens going to 30.
Okay, here we go. The New Orleans Saints trying to steal the show here tonight.
Finally a trade, though. We hear about them all year, you know.
Yeah, well, listen. There was going to be a trade eventually. And the Saints were one of those teams rumored at wanting to trade up. So the Saints have definitely decided to make the move. It's either a quarterback or a receiver, folks. So this is the short list. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, or Chris Olave, or Jameson Williams. There's 2 receivers and there's 2 quarterbacks.
I think it's Jameson Williams. They're not. I think it's Williams. They're not going to mess around with another Ohio State receiver.
Because of the trade, I'm going to say Malik Willis. What do you say, Al?
I think Willis.
Willis? So we got 1 for Jameson Williams, and we got a bunch for Malik Willis. Let's see who the pick is going to be.
Or do they love Kyle Hamilton? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's. I mean,
They're definitely taking their time here in New Orleans. Nolans.
so why is Tony Gonzalez announcing?
Yeah, really. That's exactly what I was wondering.
I couldn't be more. And
So
there's
it's-
like Chiefs
and you're-
guy. Look at Chiefs guy jersey. Look at-
And he was a former Falcon, and you're in the NFC
Yeah.
South. So why would you be announcing for a team that's in your
now-
division?
Now we have.
Did he not know what pick it was?
Yeah, I don't.
Why are there people up here that aren't wearing Saints jerseys?
He didn't play. He didn't play for the Commanders.
How many drunk people are on the stage in Vegas right
He
now?
didn't play for the Commanders.
No.
Jesus, this is the longest pick in God's green earth. We've been doing this for.
Could they lose the pick? Remember when Minnesota lost
Yeah,
the
they
pick?
should. Yeah.
Minnesota lost
Yes.
the pick because they timed out.
Really?
Yeah, that happened a few years ago.
No.
Minnesota lost a pick for time.
They lost like they lost like 6 picks. Yes, they did. Yes.
They lost.
They didn't get their card in. They did not.
Yeah,
get
Minnesota lost the pick. Yeah.
They're like showing everybody but like freaking.
Are there no New Orleans fans in
it.
Vegas
What
right
is
now?
happening with Kansas City that we're not hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. That's,
Is New Orleans picking for Kansas City?
This drives me crazy. I love watching.
I know.
Here we go. So here we go.
So bad.
The New Orleans Saints.
Normally they'll say trade.
All right.
There's Olave.
Chris Olave. That was
Frank Cookie didn't say.
we.
I
So
said Williams or
I
Olave.
said short list: Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams. I said either two receivers.
Pat's a grabbing Jameson.
I said either two receivers or two quarterbacks that they would trade up on. And but think about this. So think about this. So at pick number 11, Mr. Jeff Cook and myself both had Chris Olave going to the Commanders. The Saints trade up to take Chris Olave from the Commanders.
Yeah, we
So
did.
our pick was still right.
Great pick.
Great pick. So let's do our final two picks here. Bengals 31, I have them taking offensive tackle Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. And I have the Lions at number 32 taking quarterback Malik Willis. What do you guys have for the final
I
two
have the
picks?
Bengals going Trey McBride, tight end onto Colorado State.
All right.
And I have the Lions picking Desmond Ritter or Kenny Pickett.
Okay. So you got the Lions going quarterback, and you got the Bengals going to the tight end side of it. And I'm going to stick with offensive line here.
I'm going to hang in there at the very last pick with Pickett. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, hey.
You know, the only thing that they had on him, it was small hands. I shook hands with this guy. I mean, do I have a small hand?
No.
It was bigger than my hand.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay? So what is this small hand shit?
It's all the.
It's all the
senior
stuff.
year.
It's all the
The
stories.
senior year stats. Everyone just.
But you
a
say the
whole-
NFL creates a story. That's the
No,
story.
that's what they do. They
Yeah.
create as to why they're going to push.
Can you imagine drafting a guy because he had or not drafting a guy because he didn't run a 40 and .3 what
Wait,
you
wait,
expected, and then all of a sudden he's a star.
Could you imagine not drafting a guy because they said he was too small to be on the offensive line, and now Justin Pugh out of Syracuse is 10 years in with
exactly.
Arizona,
Exactly.
Well, look at guys
blocking for Kyler Murray.
Look at guys like Freeney from Syracuse. He
Too small.
Too small.
Yeah.
What's his name from Pitt? With the California there, 99.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Who's arguably the
Look at
best
the quarterback position.
best defensive player in the league.
Quarterback position, everyone's like, you used to have to be 6'5". Now you're.
I mean, I stood next to him. I'm taller than Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Joe Morris. Yeah, Joe Morris.
Yeah.
Joe Morris, phenomenal from Syracuse to the
The
Giants.
Lions just traded up to 12.
So that means the Lions are taking a quarterback.
Oh, this is good.
So the Lions are.
They're
gonna
showing Pickett.
So I'm happy we stayed on here.
Look at the guy's pissed off. Look at him. He's pissed off. See, they teased him with first pick. How many times did they teased him?
Well, look at how pissed the women are next to Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Remember when
They're more pissed off than he is.
remember that poor bastard Geno Smith went to the draft day one, had to go back, and then everybody had to buy him a new outfit. He had to put like a sweater on because he went in the second round.
It's ridiculous.
See, his girlfriend.
Remember that time that they said Geno Smith was a really great quarterback, but he was in the Big 12 where they don't play defense, and then he played Syracuse and got blown out?
Yeah.
Remember that in the snow when it was 12 degrees outside?
Yeah. What bowl game?
The Lions are going to go Malik Willis
You
here.
think
This is Malik Willis.
For Pickett, I
I like Pickett.
This this is Malik Willis because I thought the Lions. What you think, Malik? Yeah,
I think it might be Jameson Williams.
No, I said this when the Saints traded up. I said there was 2 quarterbacks or 2 receivers. We had Olave to the Commanders. They traded up for Olave, so that made sense for us. I think Malik Willis goes now because I think right now the trade. Think about this: the Saints broke the trade seal, and then the next pick is a trade. We're going to see. We might see trades for the rest of the draft now. We might see 5 to 7 trades.
2 teams that try to get up, and I think most teams are going to try to.
Green Bay's going to trade up now.
Oh hell yeah!
Green Bay will trade up now because we've seen wide receivers go.
I'm serious. You're right. I bet you 3 out of the next 5 are going to do trades.
We're going to see a bunch of trades coming through here now. So I'm telling you right now, I honestly thought originally that Malik Willis might have gone 2, but then I thought that's way too high for him. They can let him drop a little bit. Now they're going to take him at 12. They're taking Malik Willis. Kenny Pickett's going to the Steelers. Kenny Pickett's going to the Steelers.
I think he's a good fit.
So the Lions give up the 12th, and they give up a second-round pick this year, or they get the second-round pick. The Vikings get 3 picks.
Think about coaching Roethlisberger for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to coach to what the material you have.
That's why I think they go pocket
Pickett is
passer.
more the material they have
Yes.
than Malik Willis.
Yeah, because they've been drafting around Roethlisberger. Yeah.
Sure.
I love Bill's comment. Olave's father is odd, is what he wrote to us. So he must have seen something here. All right, Malik Willis, folks.
Jameson Williams.
Oh my God, you were right. Wow. Jameson Williams for the Lions.
Been trying to tell you.
Jameson Williams. So the Lions got Aiden Hutchinson. They got Jameson Williams, and now they got a pick in the second round. So now, are they hoping Malik Willis falls to the second
they
round?
just have to play golf regardless. They're like, well, we're gonna suck anyways. We'll get a guy next year.
Yeah. So you're gonna throw everybody out to the wolves with Jared Goff.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna give him all the weapons in the world.
So you're not gonna have an offensive line, and you're not gonna have a quarterback. Well, that's great.
But you got guys who can run and catch the ball.
Just nobody to throw to them. So Jameson, well, just hear me out on my theory. Jameson Williams has a 4.25 speed, right? So I think Jameson Williams is going to go behind the line in a wildcat formation, hike the ball, throw it up in the air, and then run down and catch it.
Hey, listen. When there's a will, there's a way. You know. I like the pick.
Oh, look.
Eagles pick is in.
That was quick.
And the Eagles traded up.
Yeah.
What did we say?
I think it's Jordan Davis.
We said it was going to trade up.
Yeah.
So we literally said
once
the Saints broke the seal, it was going to be 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 trades. I said in the first round. You said 3 of the next 5.
Yeah.
Now the Eagles have traded up from 15 to 13. So these teams are trading up just a pick or two. Some of these teams
Davis
are so
or is
nervous.
this Kyle Hamilton, that dude's got to go soon.
I think the Eagles at this pick, well, if you saw Jameson Williams go, Garrett Wilson go, Chris Olave go, then I think that if you're the Eagles, I think if you're the Eagles right now, you saw Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Jameson Williams.
Trayvon Burks already, right?
I think that they have to draft a wide receiver here. You've seen 4 go off the board. Now they're terrified. This is what's happening. You know, in fantasy football, when you have a plan and then you see a run on positions and then people start freaking out, the Eagles are freaking out right now. They're going to have to go receiver. And Green Bay is going to have to trade up like we were talking about, Al. Because now you're going to have 5 receivers gone and you don't have Devontae Adams and you got Aaron Rodgers who's already publicly shamed you.
He's pissed.
He's going to be pissed because what is he going to get? Who's left? Jahan Dotson? Treylon Burks, George Pickens. Yeah, I mean, you don't, or Christian Watson, who I think they're going to take, but now they're going to have to trade up. This is crazy. All right, Eagles, who do we have?
Davis would not surprise me either, though. Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman might not be trusted to draft a receiver.
But But this is the thing is,
Yeah.
if the Eagles trade up to take Jordan Davis, that would be one pick above where I think he's going to the Ravens. So that would make sense because I think the Ravens are going to take him. From one nest to the other.
So who's your
They-
next wide
no.
receiver off the board, you said?
Traylon Burks.
I
And I
think
think he goes to Green
I
Bay.
think if
Green
the-
Bay's about to make a move.
I think if the Eagles are trading up right now, then I think it's Traylon Burks, or because I think Jahan Dotson would have fallen. To
I think
them. So I don't
the
think
Eagles
it's Jahan
just moved
Dotson.
up past Baltimore because Baltimore was going to draft Jordan Davis.
And if they did that, then that was my next pick. So I
I
can
think Malik Willis is first quarterback.
so I can see a receiver or Jordan Davis only based on the fact that I had Baltimore taking him.
They jumped up, and I think right now
So they're jumping
Green
up.
Bay's
To,
on the phone to get up quick to get Burks.
Oh, yeah.
They have to get Burks or Dotson for Rodgers.
well, think about what happened with Philadelphia a few years ago, right? The Cowboys were about to get Dallas Goedert in Dallas, and they traded up one pick.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
Jordan
yeah.
Davis happens, that's
no,
like
I
one
think Jordan
pick.
Davis was.
Well, if Green Bay's on the phone, they're not going to go for a quarterback. They're not going through that shit.
No,
again.
no.
I was saying, a crazy turn of events, they take Malik Willis, who's still
Green
available
Bay
with
needs
Jordan
to
Love.
trade 23
No.
and Jordan Love like 15.
Yeah, well, right now we're seeing teams are trading one pick for 3 or 2 picks for 3. And Minnesota got some draft capital. Washington
Yeah.
got some draft capital. The Eagles,
Boy, it's going to be interesting tomorrow.
well, I think the Eagles got the Lions got us. They moved out of the first round to the second round. So, but think about the Lions. You got Jameson Williams and Aiden Hutchinson, and you still have a second round pick in 2022 because they gave up their last pick. So you have 3 early picks in this draft, and because of how the quarterbacks are falling, you got Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, and if you're the Lions, you can get Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, or Desmond Ritter, depending on how the draft is.
And
The Lions might be the winners of the draft so far.
I think it's going to be a nightmare the next.
Well, if this is the first round, I'm going to lose my mind tomorrow night.
Serious, it's going to be crazy.
We're going to be
What are they? Oh, here.
so that's an so the pick is in for the Eagles. They have not chosen yet. So we'll see where the Eagles go here. As we spend a few more minutes with you, this is the live draft cast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, off the rails with Al Romano, national champion, CNY native, Pitt Panthers played with, well, Tony Dorsett played with him. We have Jeff Cook, the Bville Bills backers president, myself, Dan Tortora, of course, your host of 18 plus years, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on-site on location at Pizza Man every single month on 50 Oswego Street here in Baldwinsville, and of course every Monday through Friday in our normal scheduled time. We are your morning show worldwide, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on mixlr.com, facebook.com, and youtube.com, all /WakeUpCallDT to keep it simple. On social media, at WakeUpCallDT on Facebook, at CallDT on Twitter, and at WakeUpCall_DT on Instagram. I don't think anybody got more hype than the guy who was up there for the Giants pick of Kayvon Thibodeau.
No, good for him. Hey, I'd be hyped too.
Well,
So I
think the ego of Thibodeau that I saw,
don't like him.
I think the ego fits New York City. But you want another Plaxico
Here's the
Burress?
thing about the ego. There's 2 different egos. There's a Sauce Gardner ego and there's a Thibodeau ego. I like Sauce Gardner's ego. I don't like Thibodeau's ego.
Well, and the thing is you had Plaxico Burress.
That's a great trade for them.
Yeah.
They got a 4th rounder and 2 5th-round picks to go move down 2 spots.
Well,
When
they
you
got
said,
2, yeah.
remember, the Texans board was everyone?
Yeah.
There's your draft capital.
Yeah, so the Texans now have all picks in 2022.
They got 3 picks to move down 2 spots.
Yeah. So they still got a first-round pick. They got late-round picks. The Houston Texans are about to fill out their roster. And the Eagles, it's either Jordan Davis or it's the next available receiver.
I think Lurie might have banned Roseman from picking receivers.
I think it's Traylon Burks or Jordan Davis. Those are my picks. And if it's Jordan
There
Davis,
is nobody watching this pick more intently right now than Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. And he's like this right now.
It's the Michael Scott stare where the camera zooms in with
That's
the straight
exactly.
face. That's literally him right now.
I could.
Aaron Rodgers is like having a staring contest with a dead man. You're like, why isn't he blinking? At all. That's exactly. Staring contest with a dead man right now. Aaron Rodgers is going, they took 4 guys, and you left me without Devontae Adams, you jerks. Well, and they're giving him $50 million. My rebuttal to Aaron Rodgers was, if you want us to put together a team, you shouldn't ask for $50 million.
They still could have paid Adams. I think Adams just wanted out.
I thought Adams was I thought he attached his train to Aaron Rodgers. That's what surprised me.
Remember, he went to Fresno State. He's from a couple hours from Vegas.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, here we go.
Very true. Yet another guy that people think, oh, he probably went to Ohio State. He probably went to Georgia. No, he went to Fresno State.
Second round pick out of Fresno State.
Yeah. Here we go. The Philadelphia Eagles. Will they go Jordan Davis or Treylon Burks?
I would go Jordan Davis.
I don't know about that.
Here we go. And the Eagles' selection will be... Oh, wow, that's so weird. The Eagles
Davis.
are taking Mark Wahlberg.
Jordan Davis.
There you go.
That's 2 in a row. Hey,
Jordan Davis trading up above so that's the second time in recent history that the Eagles have traded up 1 pick to steal somebody.
Yep.
Jordan Davis, you were right, and I had him going 14, so they traded up to steal him.
6'6", 350.
Interior defensive lineman.
And moves like a cat. That dude,
Yeah.
if he can play more than 25, that's his issue now. He can't 25 plays a
Listen.
game. If he gets to 40, 50, he's unstoppable.
He's another guy I covered out of Georgia in the college football playoff. I mean, listen, I wanted him to go. I'm happy he's going. He's the first interior defensive lineman that's gone, and I'm really happy for Jordan Davis. I think this is fantastic for him, and the first interior D lineman off the list. And again, the Eagles did to the Ravens what they did to the Cowboys.
That's crazy too. That's funny.
It is pretty funny.
Because I thought the Ravens, I thought they were going to go with Jordan Davis.
So will the Green Bay Packers try to take the pick? Oh, no, the Ravens pick is already in. The Ravens pick is in immediately.
It's got to be Burks.
It didn't even take 2 seconds
Is
for
it
them to have the
Burks?
pick in. I don't think so, because you have a ton of receivers and you got a running
Or
quarterback.
is it Hamilton, or is it that the kid from the Karflatis guy from Purdue, the edge?
Yeah, I think you have to go with George Karlaftis out of Purdue, or you got to go interior defensive lineman next available. I think you got to go interior line, or you got to go defense for Baltimore.
They signed Smith in the offseason. Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
So do you go Hamilton? Do you go interior offensive lineman?
Well, I think of the guys that you got. Trent McDuffie still available. You got Kyle Hamilton still available. You got
Who's the kid? Do you like the kid? Do
you got
the kid from
Jermaine
Purdue,
Johnson
Al?
still available too. George Karlaftis.
Karlaftis, the kid
Yeah.
from Purdue. You like him?
Yeah.
So we shall see on this pick.
It's so difficult when you're talking Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they overrate everybody in the Big Ten. So you never really know, because
Yeah.
you only really have maybe 3.
Yeah, you have Hutchinson and
Right.
yeah.
And we've talked about the Big Ten being overranked.
It's always overrated.
So we will await the Ravens pick. Surprising. You know what the thing is? I think the Ravens got their pick in within 2 seconds, so the Green Bay couldn't call them. No phone calls.
I mean, you have to get Watkins or Jackson, somebody.
Well, I mean,
He's got Marquise Brown.
he's got Hollywood Brown. He's got
Sammy Watkins is gone. With
he
the
had
Packers.
Miles Boykin
See,
at
now
Notre
this
Dame.
is the perfect
That was
time
his
for
30.
Kuiper to listen to him, because it'd be something so stupid.
That's why you're listening to us.
This is.
That's why you're on Wake Up Call right now.
See, like
That's why
right
you're
now,
here
I would like
and
to
not
know what the
anywhere
question
else.
is and what
Thank you for being here.
So,
And nobody else is here.
my brother had a top
Tortora.
2
Brad called me.
Mel Kiper impression of all time.
Yeah.
Talk about me, not you, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know.
Hey, listen. I talked to you right here on the broadcast.
These guys are fired up.
I gave you that Giants love, and then I looked into the camera for Breece Hall, and you, Brad Townsend, you, Honda City of Liverpool, we love you.
They got
You
a good
do.
defense.
Thank you for getting me my car early.
I think they're
love
gonna go,
Honda.
I think there's a good chance they go.
I'm happy I got my vehicle.
Okay.
I don't think Kyle Hamilton. He's one of those guys.
I don't know.
If it's,
Well,
not,
actually-
if it's not your biggest need, you make Kyle Hamilton work.
Well, Kyle Hamilton and Trent McDuffie. There's 2 guys here that are still available.
Yeah.
Still available.
I just need McDuffie and Booth to get drafted, so Buffalo has no other option but to draft Breece Hall.
Yeah.
One free pepperoni slice left. If you guys want to grab it for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, I definitely appreciate it. I'm definitely hungry. I know that much. So we're going to wait for the pick to come in here. Ironically, Kyle Hamilton's name just popped up. But I had Kyle Hamilton going at 13. And we're at pick 14. So if he goes here and he flips with Jordan Davis, then I can understand the pick. And we will do this pick, and then we will collectively all call Aaron Rodgers and be his support group, as we will all be his therapists for the next
And then
3
we will
hours.
we will turn on the audio to listen to Al's favorite Mel Kiper.
Buy a better therapist. He's got a lot of money.
I didn't know you guys.
I don't know why we're getting hazed right now.
Well, that's not hazing.
I like it.
It's just the fact that
just.
he got such a huge contract. Who gives a shit what he thinks?
Well, the thing is, he got such a big contract, he thinks he's the only player on a 53-man roster. Tom Brady understood you take less money, win a bunch of championships. Now he's making more money. When he's about to retire, unretire. By the way, I want to credit Joe Theismann for coming on the show and telling me ahead of time that they would be the Washington Commanders and that Tom Brady would not, that he did not think Tom Brady was necessarily retired. He called both of those.
Really?
Well early. Yeah, he called the days early on the Commanders and weeks early on Tom Brady.
Actually, he
within
was on
4
your show like a week after I was, like in January.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was on the show, letting us know. And so here's the final pick that we're going to make here on the live
Kyle
draftcast.
Hamilton, mic drop. I'm out.
If it's Kyle Hamilton, that was the pick that I had right before, so I'm fine with that. And it's Kyle Hamilton, so we are right along the lines here. Kyle Hamilton going to the Baltimore Ravens, who kept their pick. We appreciate you being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live draftcast inside of Pizza Man Pub, 50 Oswego Street, the best lemon pepper wings you're going to find around. We appreciate you being here in Bville. We'll see you every single month. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, of course, is every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You're watching on YouTube.com, Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com /LiveNowDT, MixLR.com /WakeUpCallDT for worldwide radio, and on WakeUpCallDT.com. You can also search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, YouTube, MixLR, and now on Audible and Amazon Music. For now, from the wonderful, wonderful home of Pizza Man Pub, I want to thank National Champion Al Romano, CNY native. I want to thank the Bville Bills backers president, Mr. Jeff Cook.
Thank you.
And I thank you all for being a part of the show, whether you were here at Pizza Man or whether you were